That's it. We are live. Today is the 21st of October 2018, Tuesday, the 23rd of October. It's a little bit of an echo with Anthony. So you just have to bear with us on that one. Flat Earth Dude, and Patricia, Sheep, Anthony, Vinny.
Hey, Karen.
Hey, Karen, how are you? Hi,
There's
everyone.
Vinny.
Yo, hello everyone.
Hello.
Patricia. Freeman.
Well, let's get straight into it because I don't have much time to share. So,
Let's go.
hi everyone out there, and I just want to let everybody know that we've been lied to. The biggest lie out there, other than the flat Earth, is that there is a food that should be your medicine. The medicine should be your food, and that is cannabis. You have been born with an endocannabinoid system within your body, and it interacts and communicates with other species around this flat plane, and one of those being cannabis and hemp, rudialis, and a lot of other vegetational plants out there. The most important thing I'm going to try and get across in the next couple of minutes, and then let you guys, let's have a chit wag, is find out your local laws, because we need to take this back to grassroots, and that is, let's put some common sense to our people in public that are supposed to be working for us. And that is, if you grow 5 acres of hemp, that is enough plantation to heal, to clothe, to feed a small town. Okay, I'll say it again: to clothe, to feed, okay, and to heal a small town. That is 5 acres of hemp. So, and if you don't know how to grow 5 acres of hemp, I've got some videos up there. It just takes a ½ pound of seeds, of hemp seeds, and you cast it to the winds, and just let it be. Other than that, let's get into it, and yeah, let's grow some hemp.
Yeah, I've been looking at your videos, Anthony, and some of them you explain the benefits of all this.
Yes, true. Yeah, there's a lot of benefits. It's everything in pharmacopoeia comes from nature, and that's why when you look at some of the patents that some people have taken out in governments, one of them is CBD, because they know, I'm not saying there's a silver bullet for everything, but there are cannabinoids out there that deal with a lot of the dilemmas that we have now, or cancers, disorders with the brain. CBD just knocks it right on the head. You can just give somebody that has MS, and you see the terrible shape that someone's in their wild development of years of MS, and you give them a vape pen or just a tincture under the tongue. Well, if it's a vape pen, it goes into your bloodstream instantly. So, you'll see this person in a terrible way, and all of a sudden they take a vape pen of a CBD, and it may be THC, but predominantly CBD, and everything stops shaking, and they can have a conversation with you. So it just goes to show you that if you have not tried it, all I say, just please give it a try, and that is CBD. And if you cannot get it, find out through your local governments why it is not, there's no access to a CBD product, especially when it's not psychotropic. But anyway, go ahead. Any questions? As you can tell, I'm a little nervous, so.
Anthony, you might just mute when someone asks a question to you.
Oh, yeah, no problem, buddy. I'm muting now.
All right. Well, I don't have any question because we already talked a lot, so go for it. Anyone?
Yeah, I was just going to say that, in a sense, you're already on an open conversation about this, which you've been having for days already, haven't you, Vinny, Anthony, Freeman's, Sheeps?
For a year.
Oh, yes, this is just not been going on for a little time. This has been developing, we've spoken in length, going through details, videos, sharing ideas. I think the biggest thing today that we need to break this paradigm of not standing for what you believe in and not speaking about what you believe in. So, yeah, me, Vinny, and a few others have been speaking about how eventually, if this all pulls through, how do we deal with the two big lies, and that is where we live, and again, how do we heal our body? You know, they've taken this right away from us, and I think it's disgusting. Not only have they lied to us, but they're feeding us an industry that makes us sick. So yeah, me, Vinny, and a lot of others have been, you know, just chit wagging, and yeah, I'm just trying to find a place and the right way to communicate this to the public that doesn't know about it, and that's on both the healing aspects of cannabis and where we live. But yeah,
on the little trailer I put out, you talked about it was 1976.
Yes, 1976. Yeah, what a terrible year, huh? Yeah, they a lot of our food products. There was a lot of things that changed in 76, all the way up to 76, but a major one is what we eat as a product. If you look at your food pyramid, have a look where bread is, fiber, gluten. Have a look where it is, and look at the amount of gluten that is eaten by a town, city, country, and that goes with the sugars too. But yeah, the wheat was changed to add more of the elasticity to make the bread making easier and to make it look more fancier, of course. But yeah, the gluten doesn't agree with who we are as people, and eventually, you know, these products will break down the lower intestines and they become mushy, and then they'll seep, and then you get your, you know, your leaky gut syndrome and just incredible diseases just from, you know, someone that has an irritation to the gluten. And this is all it comes down to. And you brought up a great subject about what's been changed in 1976. Okay, gluten. But the amount of damage this one product does is incredible, because, you know, where's your second brain? In your stomach. I know it sounds really stupid, but your stomach does more than just break down food. And if you don't know that, do some research. I mean, your stomach is it's an incredible part of the body. And if you don't have that in good order, you're going to be in a bloody mess. And that's literally saying that. You know, you're going to be wearing a bag on the outside. So all I can say, the two biggest things that I'd like to get across is your gluten food intake of breads and sugar. Just those two. If you can just limit those two products from your daily intake, you're going to do so much better in the years to come, when the body hits the ages of 30, 40, and 50, where it starts to have so much inflammation build up that you are now going in the era. That means you are taxing the body. So that means your body's pulling something from somewhere else to repair the broken tissue. And that's when you'll end up with the diseases that you see today. So it can be an easy fix. No gluten, no sugar, aspartame, all that false sugar, even the natural sugars. You know, you don't need sugar. There's sugar in your food, in your fruits. But yeah, I hope that answered your question. I know it was long-winded.
No, thank you. My one of my daughter-in-law, she can't eat wheat. She has to be gluten-free or gluten-free.
Yeah. And look, it's just not good. But and then again, because I'm a big fan of pizza, and look, and I'm not, no sun shines out of my backside. I still have a problem with wheat too. You try and eat the gluten-free as much as you can. But another good thing as well is cauliflower. You can start to use cauliflower as the replacement of wheat. And you can make all your breads, pizza doughs out of cauliflower. So you can dehydrate that, and it'll crumble. Anyway, there's a lot of research being done on it. Cauliflower makes a great flour. And there are many people with the recipes out there, and one of them is the Banting diet. Banting diet meaning that it's cutting out a lot of these products that really mess up your system, and one of them being, again, sugar, which, you know, we want to cancel out, and then the other one being wheat.
I
Go
never
ahead,
knew
mate.
that about the cauliflower. That's quite interesting. But then that's maybe where the name comes from, cauliflower. You know, I don't know if you're treating it like a flower. I've never heard that about cauliflower before. So that's something new to me as well. Interesting.
Yeah, there's a gentleman in South Africa, and this gentleman took on the government in South Africa, and again, he was a doctor that loved his you know, the people that he's taking care of. Anyway, he took it in his own hands that the only way I'm going to get to help my people of my city is I need to go after the people that are making him sick. So he went after the sugar company. Anyway, so he had a big lawsuit, and it's amazing they didn't kill him before he went to court. But yeah, they're going through a law proceeding now where they're cancelling out sugar. He's up against Coca-Cola, and this is a very brave man in South Africa. But anyway, he's brought out a Banting book diet to get rid of all these issues. Anyway, so what he's helped 450,000 people in his local city from kicking sugar and gluten.
Okay.
And they've kicked about 80 to 100 pounds. They're all very, well, you know, they've got their liberty back, which is very important. And there we have it. That's one man
What are
that
they
took
using
on the
as a
sugar
replacement?
company.
What's the are they using
He
sugar as
will
a-
give you all those informations on his website, and it's free. You don't have to go and buy his book. I bought his book because he does one for children and one for adults, and
Yeah.
it's just a Bantam diet, mate. It's easy. You just please cut out your sugar. That's
Just
all you
stop
got
the
to do.
sugar.
It's not
Yeah.
hard, but he gives you a replacement, so you're not so much going through the cold turkey, and
So is
you're
he
not
using
like, yeah,
is he using xylitol or something like this instead of the sugar? What
correct.
is it?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes,
Okay.
correct. Yep. And the
That's from the birch tree, isn't
stevia,
it?
stevia, xylitol. Yeah, because that comes from
Exactly.
the birch tree.
Yeah.
Can I ask a question from the chat before I
Yeah,
forget?
go ahead, mate.
Mark Ofsky asked, I have a question. Other than making it yourself, how do you know the CBD product you buy is a good quality?
Idea
Awesome,
into it.
awesome question. I think this is one of the most important questions because now that we are starting to know that they've hit some information, CBD THC is good for us. Now you have some ruthless, uncaring people that are getting into the industry. And a lot of these people work for governments, especially China. And if you understand the hemp plant is a remediator. So it means that if you have a contaminated area, you could put hemp on there, and within 3 years, it will make that area toxic free. The reason being is because the hemp plant will pull everything out of that soil, even heavy metals. So anyway, so there's really nasty governments out there that are growing millions and millions of acres of hemp around factories that are really terrible, and they're pumping out their waste in these fields. Anyway, so these hemps are growing. They're taking up the heavy metals and toxins, and then they're going through the drying process, and then they're making a medicine out of the oil. But anyway, so getting to the point, it's toxic. And yes, are there people to keep an eye out for that you shouldn't touch? Yes, anything from China, I wouldn't touch. Now they're shipping it to Canada, and they're trying to use an outlet in Canada so you don't get to see that it's made in China. These people are ruthless. So I would do my diligence to where you can get your CBD from, absolutely, because there's one thing. It's like DMSO. If you put it on your hand, and whatever you touch after that, whatever you touch will be absorbed straight into your bloodstream. Okay, when you take a CBD product that is got high levels of poisons and heavy metals, your endocannabinoid system doesn't know the difference if you're sending a cannabinoid into your system. So what you're doing is you're loading your body with something that should never be in your body, and you're giving it free access to every organ. So yeah, watch out what you buy, absolutely. And if you cannot find anything that you know that is not good for you, I have a product coming out that I'm working with farmers here in Washington and Portland. We grow a large, very large acreages of this hemp cherry wine, and in the last year the labs have been finished, built, and we're producing it, and within 2 weeks we're setting up a hub in Europe, and it will be distributed from Europe through to Europe. Instead of doing, actually, to tell you the truth, there's a lot of things that are happening within the next couple of weeks, and we can talk about this later, but yes, there is a product coming out, and I do make it. It comes from my hands, and I've touched not every plant on these fields, because these fields are very large, but every plant that comes into my plant, I lab test before I even touch it, and if it passes them, I make the oil through my old technology, which is not old, I just rediscovered from thousands of years ago. This was done before, and it comes from me, man. It doesn't come from anybody else. I have not farmed this out. I touch everything, and I guarantee, when I lost my wife, I found cannabis to heal people that are sick like she was, and I do one thing is I base everything I do on that nobody goes through what I went through. And that's my motto. And now I have a beautiful young family. I have a sweetheart wife now, and but it took a great loss to find this beautiful plant, and I'm glad I found it. And I hope that answered your question.
Yes. And do you know if there's some sort of test that you can tell if it's a good sort?
No, because they lie. They even take it to a lab, pay them $1 million, and
Yep.
tell them, hey, I want you to not see the cadmium. Oh, geez, $1 million does wonderful, doesn't it? I can't sit with that.
Yeah, it was a question from Mark again. So
Yeah, Mark. No, absolutely not. They're ruthless, Mark. If you're growing this amount of product through these governments and the amount of money involved, it's sad to say that these people don't care. Absolutely. You need to find somebody, and it's really sad to say this, but sometimes great loss brings people into this industry that actually want to do good.
Well, I'd like to say that the industry on CBD oil alone in the UK was 600 million last year. So put that down, and just you tell me how many people are going to get corrupted when that's the kind of figures you're dealing with. 600 million was the estimated turnover of CBD in UK only.
And do you know what's going to happen? And I've predicted this. Do you know what I want to do? And I'm going to tell everyone here now, this is what makes me giggle and laugh, because they haven't shot me yet. And it's too late now because I'm already teaching an apprentice. So the cat's out of the bag, mate. Everything's been SOP'd on me. I have a standard operating procedure on how I do my stuff. So I don't care what happens to me now. It's all out there. It's all recorded and documented. So This will never be hidden from the public ever again.
No.
I just need to pay back my investors for the first, 3-4 years, and then I will release a lot more about how to do what I do. But for now, I need to pay back them, because that's what's made the medicine. I need to look after them because they've looked after getting this out there. So yeah, about that, the rate of expansion of money involved in CBD is going to be 1,000-fold. I'll say it again. Is going to be 1,000-fold from the number you said. The reason being, it's because there's going to be people like me that produce products like we have and are doing. And when you get one and it heals your loved one, do you know what you're going to do with that bottle that has half left? You're going to go to your next door neighbor and you're going to go, hey love, I heard you have this problem, fibromyalgia. Let me rub a little bit of this on there, or you do it. And then in 5 minutes you see her crying and you're thinking, what the heck's going on here? She says, for 20 years, I have never had this relief of pain. Do you know what that's going to do? It's going to catch like wildfire. And do you know what I predict? That there will be a thing where you'll have tea parties. I will say it again. CBD tea parties. And I guarantee when this starts, you ain't stopping this. It is done. Then I'll send CBD seeds out. You grow this beautiful plant in your backyard and enjoy it. And make your cup of tea from that.
So how would you go about making a cup of tea from a plant? What would you?
Okay, that's a beautiful subject. There is many aspects of this plant. Again, you have top to bottom. The roots are very good for making a tea, and you can mix some of the tips and the flower within that tea. You just like break it down, so when you've grown your plant, you've dried it, dig up the roots, crush the roots when they've dried, then you do a 10-to-1 ratios of roots to your tips and flower. And then
This would be
grind
a
it up.
female plant you're talking about, isn't it?
Correct, female plant. And you want to put a little bit of male in there too. Yeah, there's a lot of
right.
alchemy going on here. Yeah, because you got to understand, it's not just the cannabinoids from a female plant. You have cannabinoids that are different from a male plant. Then you have cannabinoids that are slightly different from a seeded
What
female
part
plant.
of the male plant would you use?
I'd use all of it. The roots.
Okay.
Yeah, and then you're breaking it down. See, it's all in ratio. So, you know, the flower has a high content of cannabinoids, so you'd want more of that. So a 1-to-10 ratio, meaning 1. So if you have 10 grams, you have 1 gram of the roots, 10 grams of the flower and tips. And then you grind that up, you put it in a little 100 micron bag, and just dank it. And let it seep, and there you go, my friend. You've just done a microdose. And a microdosing, I swear to God, it's not the amount that you take, it's the amount you take on a period of time throughout the day. Because your endocannabinoid system is going to the storage and then taking some, and then it's going somewhere. Just keep the body loaded in small doses throughout the day.
Okay. And this is in microdosing, obviously.
I realised the other day when I was on that hangout with Vinny and we were talking that you need to be buying bags of it on the supermarket, adding it to your salad and stuff.
Could,
Darling,
yeah.
you brought up an unreal subject, and I'm just going to let this cat out of the bag too. Okay, you have a product called sulforaphane. It comes from a broccoli sprout. It interacts with the NRF2. It's a communicator. So then we have this sprout, and that's very good for prostate cancer too. Sulforaphane kills prostate cancer. But anyway, so then we come down to the sprout of hemp and cannabis. And when you take the sprout and you eat it within that first 5 days of a hemp sprout, Canaflora, it is incredible. I'm not going to tell you the effect that it will have on the body because I don't want to taint in the water. And if you do this, I want you to keep your own diligent research to yourself, and I'd love to share with you. The reason I don't want to say what actually happens to you because I don't want to, how can I say? Everything's individual, but I will say this, that hemp sprout, 60 grams a day is going to change your goddamn life. More research needs to be done, and I'm doing it. I want to know what happens when we freeze dry it. There's a company in France, in secret, that's doing the sprouts.
I know the broccoli sprouts are quite good.
Yeah, broccoli sprouts are fantastic. Oh my gosh, you freeze dry them. Yeah, they're and even just eat them, because if you look at 60 grams of broccoli sprouts, you know, you have enough micrograms of the sulforaphane. It's incredible. And if you want to, increase its bioavailability, is you put the broccoli sprouts in a steam cooker, take the temperature to 70 C for 10 minutes, you've just increased the sulforaphane uptake by 3.5%. I'll say this again. So a handful of sprouts of broccoli, and watch it because they're selling now broccoli seeds from other seeds. It's not broccoli because they're onto this.
Right.
Yeah, they're buggers, man. I'm telling you, they're trying to stop us.
So it's not broccoli
anyway,
again. It's just
yeah,
a seed.
broccoli.
And it's some
The
other
broccoli
plant.
seed. Yes, you grow the seed into a sprout for 5 days, easy to grow. Then when you cut it down, heat the water up like you're steaming it, like a rice cooker, to 70 C for 10 minutes. Its increase of viability is 3.5%. And I mean, if you've got prostate cancer, if you've got prostate cancer, you're going to nail it. If you smoke cigarettes, you're going to nail it, because the first thing that comes out when you take broccoli sprouts, it will purge benzene out of your bladder. So your bladder, you actually, that toilet is going to pong because of the benzene's being purged out of your bladder. Because when you look at cigarette smokers, well, that's where tumors start. See, people think cigarette smoking causes cancer in the lung. No, it doesn't. It causes it in other places. So with the sulforaphane, it will clean your bladder out of all the benzene. And anyway, you should be all eating sprouts, hemp and broccoli. Don't let them tell you lies. They've known this for 30 years. They've known it for 30 years, and they're killing my men friends. 160,000 men a year in the US are dying from something that can be fixed. So easy. It's disgusting. Anyway, I'll shut up for a tick.
You don't have to shut up. We were listening.
Yeah, I just get really personal when they're killing so many people, right in your face.
Yeah, and lying about it for you.
Yeah, it's disgusting. It really is. You know, they're getting rid of this generation for a reason, because they're getting rid of the real men. You know, because the next generation of men, you know, and I don't want to be derogatory towards anyone, but they're not real men. So, and that's through the feminizing hormones that they have in a product called plastic in 1980. They brought out, and then what they would do, those plastic companies would produce those bottles in warmer states and then ship them over into the other states. So they stay for at least 7 days above 70 C in the truck. And then what it does is that water bottle will leach a hormone into that water. When the male gender drinks that water, there is a hormone released throughout the male. So you'll get the smaller testicles, the testosterone will go down, so he becomes a less aggressive, and he will develop prostate cancer 30 years later. That's the clock. From drinking that bottle of water, it takes around about 30 years for it to develop. So there you have it. They already figured this out, guys. They know who they want to get rid of. I hate to break it to you.
They don't. Prostate cancer is not mentioned so much, is it? But actually, a lot of men get this, don't they?
In America, because they're keeping it a secret, but in America, if you look at the true numbers, by the end of 2020, it'll be 1 in 2 males that will die of prostate cancer. Yep. Yes, 1 in 2. I know, it's freaking scary, huh? That's 1 in 2. I'll say it again. Because if I have my mate sitting next to me, both of us have to look at each other, which one's going to peg out. Yeah, they're buggers, mate.
It is frustrating when you know so much, isn't it?
Yep, and you know what? It's such an easy fix, Karen. A suppository up the backside. See, there's 2 different cancers that you need to find out, you know, with the PSA count. So, you know, about what sort of cancer that's around the prostate. But the THC and CBD will knock it on its head. Most important is capsaicin, and that's from the habanero. I made a video, and I don't know what happened to it. YouTube took it off. They're assholes, man. But anyway, I did a YouTube video where I made a smoothie for people with prostate, and it was I blanched the broccoli sprouts. Over 2 weeks, you get up to the tolerance of having 1 habanero in your smoothie, and I had other ingredients in there as well. And you drink this smoothie, you know, predominantly throughout the day. You make your smoothie in the morning, you drink it throughout the day, and what it's doing is that habanero in there is, and of course the sulforaphane, when you passes through your body, especially through your bowels, the capsaicin, when it's passing out, you'll have a warm bum. It's pressing through that channel, and that prostate is hard up against the lining wall of the anus. So yeah, anyway, so capsaicin, what it does to prostate cancer, there's a process called apoptosis. The cancer will do a hurry-curry. That's the best way to say it. It kills itself. It's quite interesting. Please do your research, and I know I say everything that I've said, please do your diligence of your own research, because it's better coming from you when you're telling family, not from me. So sulforaphane, okay, broccoli sprouts, capsaicin, you know, it's all out there. Just do your diligence of research.
Sorry, I was muted and it wouldn't come up. The button wouldn't come off. Thank you for that. We all probably know somebody as well with these horrible diseases. So, yeah.
Yeah,
Anybody?
but Karen, that's very true, darling. You're very true. We all, but you know what? Disease, it's because, it's only here. It's because we thought we trusted the people that were trying to look after us. These white coats, they're more interested in getting flown out to their golf course. We as a people, like we're doing right now, Karen, what you're doing, we need to have this revolution, not only for health, but hey, why shouldn't we be talking to each other? Why shouldn't we be sharing?
Well, we are doing that today. But I know what you mean. Generally, out there, it doesn't happen anymore, does it?
Yeah. Yeah, everyone's going to get a little excited. When you heal yourself or you've helped someone to be healed, it lights this little spark that the governments have tried to squash. When you get that, when you see that person's eyes and they've got this little glimpse that they could be better, and they do get better right in front of your eyes, you'll never forget that for as long as you live. And I tell you what, it is that 4-letter word's coming back, and it's care. C-A-R-E. It's coming back, and they can't stop it. And you know what, guys? I love you very much. I gotta tootle off out of here, and you know, I don't want this to be the last time that I speak with you guys. I'd like to talk whenever you have me, but you know, if you've got any questions, and I am going to bring something out. There's a gentleman out there called Vinny, and if you've got any major questions.
Hello?
Still blue. Oh, somebody's gone, eh?
It's a drop.
It's dropped.
He will be coming back.
I thought it was me. I thought, no, the hangout's gone
He said,
again.
yeah, there's a man out there, Vinny, and he wanted to say something about me, but he dropped, or his connection got lost. But he will be back in a couple of seconds. There you go. He dropped, and he will re-enter.
Okay, cool.
I'm gonna let you guys talk for a minute.
He got his message over anyway, didn't he?
This is my time to go to take a toilet break.
Oh, Vinny. His phone died. He's not coming back.
Oh, it's gone. Yeah. Okay.
So
That's
what do
unfortunate.
you think about that then, Sheeps and Neeps?
Very interesting. He's got a lot to say. He's quite knowledgeable in what he's got to say about this, isn't he? Quite interested in the not the broccoli, the cauliflower. I've not really heard about that. I've heard about the broccoli, but not about the cauliflower. So that's quite a new one on me. And I've been looking into a lot of things, you know. I don't know how I've missed that one. Quite strange.
I hadn't heard of that one either, by the way.
That's what I mean. Yeah, it's quite popular when you if you do a search, but it's like it's funny how these things are very, very important to us, but at the same time they're so difficult to find, especially in this day and age when we've got the accessibility of the internet to find all the knowledge we want. It's still very difficult to find. You know, you still need somebody to put you in the right direction to find the knowledge. It's not still there. You've still got to look for it. So that's
Well,
bean sprout.
aren't we all about things.
Yeah, the
In
Brussels
the
sprout.
end, it's not even that long ago, is it really, that we've all woken up and seen a different way, learnt different things. It's not really, for most of us in our lives, that long ago. We've learnt a lot of stuff in such a short period of time, haven't we, really?
Yeah, health ways. I would say that I've learned quite a lot in the health side of things about our intake of foods and what they're doing to us, what the intake of foods are doing. I would say that we need to concentrate more on the vitamins that are coming from the natural products that we eat, and to get all the nutrients and vitamins from there. If someone tells you, or if a doctor tells you that you need vitamins of a certain type, or if it's recommended that you need vitamins, then find that vitamins in a natural source rather than taking tablets for it, because the tablets just are not what the actual vitamins are. You know, it's a synthetic lab made vitamin. It's not the same thing. Although you may think it's quite fun and it won't do you any harm, it is not going to do you the benefit of what it should do. And this goes for a lot. I mean, vitamin K is one that's very hard to find, and that's one that you won't get anywhere. You've got to get that from its natural produce, and I think it's apricot seeds is where you'll get that from. That's a really difficult one to find as well, and you can find this on the net. You'll get people that'll give you just the apricot seeds, but you know, vitamin K, that's called, I think, isn't it? Are you aware of that one?
Yeah, I've heard apricot seeds are really good for you.
Well, it's got the arsenic in it as well, which is really bad. But supposedly, the arsenic, our body can react against the arsenic that's in it because it's only a minor amount. However, nothing can be done against the cancer. The arsenic that's there kills the cancer, but it's not enough to kill our cells. So that's the principle behind that. It's sort of like it's your own chemotherapy, is that, which is a chemical therapy, but the chemical therapy is a natural chemical therapy. But that's the definition of chemotherapy, and the chemotherapy that the doctors give you is mustard gas. That's the chemical that they are using, and a derivative of it. Quite dangerous.
Horrible.
Very dangerous.
Obviously, you're trying quite a few different things right now, aren't you?
I'm doing everything apart from the chemotherapy and radiotherapy. I am not going to entertain that at all. I find that very, very detrimental to your health to go through that. Now, I may manage and I may not. I'm not too sure. I certainly back. So, in the meantime, what I feel like is just as long as I can stick to taking all natural products, I'll have a far better chance of knocking this in the head. You know, the pharmaceutical tablets and stuff like that, I need to totally avoid them. I have to stay away from that completely. And it's only natural produce that I am going to take. That's all I do take. So that's what I'm going to do.
Yes.
Yeah, it's very bad. That's THC.
I don't want to interrupt you, but Anthony,
Anthony.
back, and his phone is dying. So.
Oh yeah. I just had somebody call me, but anyway, yeah. And just to finish it off with everyone, please do your diligence of research. And there are a lot of people that are now realizing the potential of this product. There are a lot of people that want information. I want you to get the right information. And then basically, yeah, it's there's a gentleman that there's a few of us, but because of where Vinny's located, I have Vinny out there in Europe. If anybody's got any information that they would like to know, I can source it to Vinny, and Vinny can disperse it to anybody else that would like to know more. And yeah, I just want to try and make this easy for everyone. I'm not really good at getting back to everyone. It's just because I have a lot going on in the next year, and I don't have I'm not saying I don't have enough time. I just got 3 young children that I'd like to spend as much time as with them and try and use my time efficiently to help you guys to get right information. Because what it is, guys, it's about you getting the truth. We've got to stop this hocus pocus. It's got to stop. So,
people helping the people with the real things, you mean?
Yes, absolutely correct, Karen. And I will say this, that within the next, there will be a time in the next few years, 3 years, that I would love to travel, and I'd love to teach, share, because it's not teaching, I share. I'd love to share with what I've learned. Because, when you actually get to see it done in front of your face, and how easy it is, how nature will actually reveal itself to you. And it's alchemy, yeah, but it's simple. It's not quite complicated. There's just certain things you need to do at certain times, and then the plant reveals itself. And as I may have said a little bit before, it's not just the female plant, it's the male plant. It's not just the female plant, it's the seeded male plant. And I blend all 3 together. I use certain portions of those plants, and I call it top to bottom, female, male, and then the next generation. And if you mix all them together in certain proportions, and even if you don't understand those proportions, you will find out. Your God will talk to yourself. I don't know how this works out, but yes, all I can say, we have nature has a deep understanding about who we are. We just need to turn the telly off to have a deep understanding of what nature's trying to do for us. And you'll find out. Anyway, I love you guys. I hope that helped. And please contact Vinny. And Karen, thank you for having me. Yeah, all I can say, guys, do your research, please. And let's help our neighbor, okay? Love to you all.
Thanks, Anthony.
Yeah, come back again. Say it again. Brilliant.
Yep.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, and please share it with everyone. And Karen, if anybody wants to talk to my ass, I'll be happy to talk to anyone. Okay?
Thank you. Thank you for sharing some time with us.
Yeah, I knew he's gonna drop fast. Sorry, Des, it wasn't not to stop you, but I knew it's gonna lost connection. Yes, I will put my email out there so you can contact me if you're whatever question you want to ask. He's dropping. So.
You also are doing this, aren't you? As well, aren't you, Vinny?
I'm sorry?
You're doing oils, aren't you?
Yes. But he's going to send his product to Europe, and that's here in the Netherlands. And that's going to be distributed for the people in Europe. But we're working on that the next weeks.
And the legality side of things as well. But the CBD side is completely legal. That's fine, isn't it?
Yep.
But any problems on that side?
You need some certifications.
It's a certification. He's actually went through some procedures to get that as well, though, hasn't he? He's quite proactive in everything he's doing. This isn't just a whim. This is actually, he's got reports back from laboratories and stuff telling you how much the quantities that he's got and the levels that he's got in it. He hasn't went into enough detail, actually, to be honest, because he hasn't got enough time. But he's got all the literature that you need. There's a specific amount of CBD, THC, and the frequency of that is in his product. all this is knowledge that he's got from the laboratories, which he would be happy to go into great detail with you as well. But like I said, constraints of time has stopped him from providing that knowledge. Getting it with us just now.
I wasn't sure. Did Freeman's want to say something? I think he unmuted himself, but he's muted again. Freeman's.
Yeah, I'm here. I just listened carefully what Anthony been saying, and wish to say that been really, really clear and nice information. It's exactly as he said, that all what we eat and all different stuff produces a lot bad things in our body. And interesting that one of the only things which is capable to cure almost everything, they hide from us or do not let us using it through laws and other different stuff. That's really ridiculous. They wish to keep everything for pharmaceutical industry, you know, and obviously their goal isn't to cure us. It's a goal to just selling us those products forever, you know, till you die. That's the worst thing, really.
Money.
Yeah.
Yeah, the pharmaceuticals they want you to know this. This has been there for 1,000 years, as long as we can go back. It's there. It's a natural plant. It's gonna help you. Not only that plant. Let's say the broccoli sprouts, all the things that he talked about. Anthony's got a big lab, and he's been doing this for more than 20 years. He knows what he's doing. A lot of tests, even cured people. So yeah. Thank you, Anthony, if you're still listening.
Yay.
And what's also interesting, I do not know almost anyone who do not have at least one person in family sick from cancer. So it's really hard, a hard one for everyone, especially as he also described with his previous wife. I can imagine that because my ma died from cancer as well, some 30 years ago. It's a really bad thing for everyone, not only for the person who is sick, also for whole family. Because
Exactly.
Do not know how to help, and obviously those things which are able to help, we are not allowed to use. Plus, I didn't knew about it 30 years ago, or I would try for sure. Doesn't matter how much it would cost.
Exactly. You know, Bob, this is his passion. After he lost his wife, he's only focused on that every day, to cure and help people.
Yes, I believe so.
He
Yeah.
thinks about that every day. That's why he's so passionate about the lies that we've been told, and medicine has been hidden from us. It's all chemical now.
Yeah, and what's also interesting, I've been watching Vice episode when they've been speaking about THC, if I remember well, where all those sick persons have been saying how much it helped to them, you know, not only from cancer, also from other diseases. I saw people who are not able to move, how much it helped to them also. So it's really healthy, you know. It's not some, let's say, I don't know what to say, some lie or things like that. It works, you know, and if it works, why do not try? And why do not let people using it? Especially for medical reasons, you know.
Yeah, but you know what? We used to, you know, lot of us, or my age people, will remember that grandparents had gardens and they grew their own vegetables. We don't even do that anymore. We don't, you know, as a people, not many of us grow our own vegetables anymore.
Yeah, that's also true, Karen, but that's the way how we live. Most people are moved to the cities, and it's so hard to grow your own food in cities.
Again, they did it even with like crystals. They've labelled it as a hippie thing. Crystals are really good for you. Another thing, like, so a lot of people, that's the hippies there. No, I won't go near them then. So they're just covering everything up that's really good and natural for you. I mean, we need to be going to the supermarket and buying bags of it, as I said, to add to your salad. So, everybody's muted now.
Yeah, we are here.
Yeah,
I
I'm
didn't think
listening.
I didn't think he'd go so quick, but it is really nice that he came on and he had a message and he said his message, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yes, the message is out there, and there will be within a couple of days there will be an email address available, and I will give that to you, Karen. Anthony is very, very busy with doing things in the laboratorium, in the fields, so he cannot always answer people. It's very hard to get in contact with him sometimes. So there will be an email address available for questions or other stuff, and I will ask them to him when we got time to talk. So that will
Yeah.
will be out there.
You can always like come back and talk about it here as well.
Yes, yes, yes.
Update and things like that, Vinny.
Yeah, he will.
Yeah. Anyway, in a strange way, it led me. You inviting me the other day led me to meet Sheeps and Neeps. I'm really, to talk with him on a hangout. I'm really pleased about that.
Yeah, thank you very much, Karen, for inviting me on. It's much appreciated.
Oh, that's okay. It's great you're here. But as a hangout, you were one of the people I wanted to have on our channel.
Yeah, well, like I said, I have a problem with my attitude. I swore quite a lot, so I wasn't really going to be very good on your show because I knew that you didn't like swearing very much, and I would have let the side down. So I was better to stay away while I was in that frame of mind. But I'm more sedated now. I can curb my swearing when needed. You know.
Oh,
However, don't get me started on banking cartels and stuff like that, or else it's easier to start swearing then. Obviously, you know. But no, I should curb it in a sense. But the truth comes out, and my emotions get the better of me. I swear. Some people don't like it, but I'm sorry about that. I never mean to do it. It's just my emotions. It's just my emotions, you know.
Yeah. Well, people should understand it, I think.
My door. That's my door. I shall be seconds, folks.
It's me calling.
jumped over the sea, have you?
Yeah, I'm
Vinny?
there to make sure he doesn't swear. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I was going to say to him, obviously I put the video out about him so that people did know that what was going on with Sheeps and Neeps.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, so our guest has gone, really, because obviously
Yeah.
you talk quite a lot anyway, though, don't you? And you're sorting all this out. That's really good news, though, isn't it, all of this?
Yes, it is.
Vinny to the rescue!
Well, you know what's gonna happen the first weeks. That I've got diabetes, and I'm gonna do a full, totally cure method, and he's gonna tell me everything what to do and what not to do with food and the CBD and the THC that I have for myself. And we're gonna make that public after I did that, and see the results. My blood results. See if there's a change, and if so, I might be able to help people here with Anthony or wherever you are. With whatever you got. For me, it's the diabetes, and as I can see in the chat, for Sheeps and Neeps, yes, go to his PayPal account, please, and help him out with his cancer.
Thank you for that, Vinny.
No, don't say that, Mark. Yeah, you're welcome, Karen. But it's good. Yeah, just it's how can I say that? I don't know. I don't have words at the moment. I know what's going on in the background, and I see people getting cured by that stuff from CBD, vegetables, herbs. It's just amazing what he found out. with a lot of stuff. And I've got not so much to say anymore, because always when I hear this information, I got a little bit emotional. But it will all be fine. Let's stay positive.
Yeah, exactly. And
Let's
you
stay
know
positive.
what's interesting? Nature give us all cures, what we need, but we forgot to use it.
Exactly. It's a last information.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
And they don't want you to know it, because the pharmaceuticals make millions a day on you.
So
You gotta have-
basically, the beginning of the healing actually is to turn the television off, everybody. I know people in the chat room here probably don't watch much television like we don't, but anybody who's listening to this hangout in the future, don't watch television. That's the start of the healing, because then you start opening up, realizing, waking up. You're not, what is it, a slave to the program, and you can start understanding all these things.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
very.
when can I believe that the doctor's going to make you better, and the chemotherapy, you know, those ways.
People are so occupied with so unimportant things like sports, politics, and other stuff. Okay, that's also part of our lives, but no need to spend so much time only on those things. That's ridiculous. And only that you can watch, or also some stupid shows on TV. All those good informations currently we can only find on internet, and usually people only when they have some problems, which is obviously the case, they only start searching information then. But it's good to start searching for all those informations if you are completely helpful, you know, because you can share all those information you have with other people and help them get cured. And also it's important what we eat, how we think, where we live, how we work. But today's it's really so hard to not be full of stress and all of other stuff which modern way of life have, you know. That's really not how to say, easy to find time for ourselves, for our families and our friends, and to speak about all things as people did in the past. Now we only care for ourselves to have enough money to buy other stuff, but do not see that that's only, let's say, not so important thing. That's only one thing from at least several more which are even more important. We all need love, we all need good health, we all need some friends, we all need to be able to do some work what we like, or what we prefer to do, and so on and so forth. So there is so much things, not the money is only one of them, and they keeping us occupied only with the money. That's how works with most of
Yeah, I said that before, Freeman. You know, we could have even, money's fine, but what it is that instead of the people being the most important thing, it's the money that's the most important, and that's the bit where it's all gone wrong. Money should just be money, and it isn't. It's the most important thing to everybody now out there.
Yeah.
Well, it is important, unfortunately, because we live in that system, but instead of the people being even as important as the money, money is the thing, isn't it? And egos, money, egos, money, egos, money, egos.
Yeah, but we somehow, Anthony even mentioned that, we somehow gave our power to those institutions who should care about our health, you know, and that's a part of the problem. That's a part of the problem, because hey, when you need to pay hospital or some operation, can be so expensive. Even if you save the whole your life, you do not have enough for those kind of things. That's ridiculous. But that's how things stand for now. That's why it's always better to find some natural way, because it's less expensive, plus cannot give you bad results. If you taste any natural product, at least you cannot be cured, but nothing bad will happen with you. But if you go at those guys at hospitals, they can screw you badly.
Yeah, it seems that everything that was a wives' tale seems to have been the truth.
Yeah, and how many times doctors didn't even realize the real problem from the first, as Ships and Neeps may say his example. So that's he's not the only one. At least half of people I hear had some issues with health. Doctors do not know. Only when it becomes really badly, they somehow find it. That's ridiculous. If you study something for 5 years and work for 15, 20 years, you should be able to see it from one side, you know. You just take a look at person and you should be able to say, hey, you are sick from my disease. by my I mean by profession, you know. But no, that does not work.
It's happening because basically, what is it? They're giving us plastic cheese, plastic rice. It's just giving us plastic and things to eat. Hormone.
They most what they care is outer look, you know, how you will look like, but how you feel inside, that's not so important at all.
Yeah, but then more and more people are waking up, aren't they? And thank goodness for that. Is our Patricia there? Patricia, are you awake?
Yeah, Patricia and Jude, are you here with us tonight?
Patricia.
Sorry, I was fixing a violin. I'm done.
Oh, wait a minute.
I'm back.
Flat Earth dude, Patricia have been very quiet. What are your
We've been
thoughts?
very quiet.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. I'm just finishing up work here, so I'll be more attentive at this point. I promise.
You listened into any of it, Flat Earth dude?
You know, I heard a little bit in the beginning. I like that 5 acres thing. Grow 5 acres of hemp, and you can feed how many people? That's crazy.
You said a town.
You can feed a whole town and everything. Yeah. That's that crazy. Awesome. I love that. It's so simple.
What's your views on all this?
Well, you know, I've been an advocate for over 30 years. You know, a user for 30 years, and I absolutely 100% believe in the medicinal uses for a great plant, man, huh? Crazy great plant. It's easy to grow for the most part, yeah. Am I still here?
Yeah, you're still here.
I'm still here.
Thanks for that. Patricia.
Yeah. You're welcome.
Yeah, I'm here.
Your views, my
Hi.
darling?
Hi, everyone, by the way. Sorry.
Hello, Patricia.
I'm quite interested in it because, as you know, I bought some tablets and they're like horse tablets, and I just don't want to swallow them. I have problems swallowing large tablets and that, but I've got some hemp seeds. I ain't got a clue what I'm supposed to do with them. I've got chia seeds. I've just no idea what I'm supposed to do with them, to be honest. Anybody got any information they can share? Be great.
On the panel?
What's this for? What have you got?
I've got some hemp seeds. You buy a packet of hemp seeds and some chia seeds. I have no idea what to do with them.
Oh, okay, the normal seeds, just the hemp seeds.
That's probably just crush them and eat them if it's hemp seeds. That's not sort of thing that you would be growing in any sense like that. Could, if you wanted to, but essentially hemp seeds are is where you're getting the nutritional benefit from the hemp seed oil, and you just sort of eat the hemp seeds. I think that's maybe what you've got there, rather than thinking that you've got something that you would be thinking of growing? Is this the lines you're thinking on?
No, it is to eat because they say you sprinkle them on stuff. But I'm just like,
That's what it says. Yeah, that's what I think it is.
yeah, just
So what would you have it
on
in?
what in particular?
It's entirely your preference of flavour, but things like omelettes and stuff, you know, it depends what kind of flavour you're wanting. Do you like mushrooms, like wild mushrooms? You can have wild mushrooms, a hemp seed, cheese, and that into an omelette. That would be quite a nice flavour.
Oh, that sounds good. I like eggs. Well, I try not to eat too many eggs, but mushrooms, make some sort of omelette. Yeah, with them in. Yeah, thank you for that.
Crush them up beforehand as well. You can just throw them into like pastas or into salads. This is a little garnish on salads. It can be okay, but you need to crush them first, just so that you know that pop in them. You know.
Oh, cool. Thank you.
Yeah, no worries. No worries.
Yeah, so you need to cook them really.
You can eat them raw. No, you can eat them pure raw. They're very, very beneficial just raw.
Yeah, you can do so many things with it. You can you can press them to an oil. You can do whatever you want, but you need a lot. You need a lot. But you can even grow them and make tea from it.
It's a long process.
It's not that it's a very long process, but you can even make oil of it. But you can sprout them. You can you can do whatever you want with it. But to be honest, I'm not. I do not know anything about the normal hemp seeds because I don't use it. I'm into the females.
Yeah, but it's similar to sprouts as well. You can do them the same, similar to sprouts, where you just set them off and they just start and go. Now, I find it fascinating with the sprouts because it's the same. And what you've got is a seed. Now, if you eat the seed, you're not getting very much off it, okay? Just the seed. However, if you leave it just like 5 days and all it's doing is consuming water and not tap water, distilled water, pure distilled water with nothing in it at all, and it just takes this water, and in that 5 days, in the time that it sprouts, there's nothing else it can get from nature, but it gets so much nutrients it can put back, and it's only got this from a little drop of distilled water. Where does it get this energy from that it's passing on to us? That's fascinating. That's really fascinating to me, because it's just, you see it as a seed, and the only thing you're feeding it is water, but it's like, it's more than quadrupling. It's the energy levels that goes in it in this short space of time is fantastic. You get your sprouting seeds from Amazon, and you can get them on eBay as well. Health shops sell them as well, but if you want to look about, you'll find them on eBay or Amazon for a cheaper deal. And you just put them in a little jar. They're a jar like this, and it's got like holes in the top. You fill it with water, and then empty all the water out and leave it upside down. The next day, you fill it up with water again, sluice it about, empty it all out, and leave it upside down again. And you do this for about 4 or 5 days, and then they just start sprouting, and then you eat them. And like I say, the amount of nutrients that comes off of that is jammed packed. And the only thing you've gave it is a little drop of water. That's the only thing it's getting. It's like, where's this magical power coming from? That's got all this nutrients. Where does it get it from? Okay, where does it generate it from? It generates this. It's a fantastic thing. Life has got so much more to it than can meet the eye, but it's a serious business. You're actually eating that thing just as it's starting its prime of life, and you're getting all the goodness out of it. It's quite barbaric when you look at it like that, isn't it? But no, it's true.
Now.
Let's put you off the vegetarian now. Save the seeds.
It's amazing anything that comes from a seed, isn't it, though, that it transforms from just that bit of water.
It's so quickly, though. We're just talking a few days. I mean, it hasn't even started doing its leaves or anything. It's still a sprout, and it's got more nutrients than what some fully grown plants I've got. It's amazing. But this is sprouts in particular. I never knew they were so packed with what they are. And they don't taste like sprouts either because they're just a seed. You know, you haven't got that, oh, it's sprouts yucky flavour. No, it's got none of that. Because it's a seed, it's not developed any of that turpentines smell and stuff. It hasn't got any of that. It's good. It's good. Fantastic.
Yeah. And yeah, news about the cauliflower as well.
Yeah, and that's a completely new one to me. So I'll do a bit more research into this. But he says using it as like a bread and stuff. And when you think about it rationally, it's like, okay, so maybe that's why the name flour is in it, cauliflower. It's like they're using it as a flour for bread, just like any other pita flour or canned soda flour, you know. So makes sense now, but didn't make sense until today. Because broccoli, I always thought broccoli and cauliflower were the same. Borosics, the nutrients level and stuff like that, they're almost the same as in cauliflower and broccoli, although one's white, one's green, they're two totally different things. But it was always a toss-up, a coin, whether do you want broccoli tonight or cauliflower and cheese sauce or broccoli and cheese sauce. They both work equally as well. And it was always just a flick of the coin of which one we was going to pick. But I noticed that the broccoli sprouts before it's even got any of that state. And they're trying to sell them now on, you go into the supermarket and you're getting sprouted broccoli, which came up so far. You know, this is sprouted broccoli. That's not the same thing. It's a different thing altogether, touching on the health side of things. But no, this is sprouts, and they've just seeded. They've just started to put out the little root. Hasn't done any more than that. There's no flowers involved. There's no vegetative growth involved at all. You don't need any soil. All you need is just a little bit of water in a jar.
Amazing. It's all amazing, really, isn't it? What we're living in and everything. But I thought about in the old days when we used to have vegetable patches. At least you knew it was coming out of the ground. Like nowadays, you don't know what you're eating hasn't been bleached, pumped up, injected. Or whatever's in the thing when you're eating it, which they've done to it before.
Well, that was one that surprised me as well, was people going for unbleached tea bags. And I was like, what? And it says, yeah, all your tea bags are bleached. And I went, what do you mean all the tea bags are bleached? And it says, yeah, the bleach all the tea bags. You ever seen a tea bag? When you look at them, they're always white. That's because they bleach the paper so that makes it look all white and pristine. I thought, yeah, I never thought about that until you told me. So you buy these tea bags that are unbleached, and when you make a cup of tea from them, you actually hasn't got that taste that's on the paper that surrounds the tea bag. And you're not aware of it until you have it without it. And then it's like, oh, gee, now you've just fucking ruined my tea bags. I need to get a new brand. Unbleached tea bags. Or tea without a tea bag. Just get the coarse tea and just use a tea strainer and do it like that. Well, far more better cup of tea from it. It's a lot of inconvenience, you see. It's so easy just to take the tea bag, put it in a cup, squeeze it against the side and throw it in the bucket. You haven't got all this tea leaves floating about and anything like that. But if you go to the hassle with the tea leaves, oh, what a lovely, refreshing cup of tea compared to a tea bag cup of tea. It's so much better. And we ruin ourselves simply just to make things easier. Things like microwaves. You get a microwave, it ruins food, but for some reason people use them. I don't use them myself. I wouldn't use a microwave because it destroys food. You're irradiating it. You're radiating your food, and you think it's going to be good. Throw it away. You don't need a microwave. You've got an oven or a grill. Yeah.
Sorry,
No
Vinny?
I said no microwave for me. Never.
No, you don't need it. Dangerous, you know. Once you know about the 4G and 5G and the frequencies, it's like, why would you have a microwave? You know, it's just that frequencies in your kitchen, and you're doing it to yourself. Great. You don't need to do it to you. You do it to yourself. It's fantastic. Go and have a look at the frequency. It's around about 3.2 or something like that, gigahertz. 3.2 or something like that. 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 3.2 or som
Yeah, that's another interesting story regarding the plants. That all plants will grow more if you play them some nice music, or if you treat them well with love. And
That's
also,
strange, isn't it?
yeah, yeah, and also
I
after,
talk to them. I hug them every day.
Mhm. And also the same is when you prepare your food, you should give give love to that food. Then all those good things will go up, and all those bad things will not be so harmful. That's obviously people forgot those things. That's why it's also so important where you're getting your food from, and who prepare food for you. People think that that's not important, but if some people, how to say, if at restaurant that guy who cook food for you is angry or things like that, that bad energy will go directly into your food. So yeah, better
I
to.
always cook. I always cook with love. I cook with the purpose of enjoying it, you know, and I cook it with the purpose that this is going to do us good nutritionally, you know. So there's always love involved when I make food, and I don't know. Does that make it taste better? Maybe, maybe not. But I don't make it when I'm hungry. I know that. I won't make food when I'm hungry. So
Mhm.
it stands to reason that it's far better. Uh, Most of the food I cook, I get complimented on, so I think it's working.
So you're a man who likes to cook then?
Yeah, yeah. I've got Alan over with me just now. From there we go. Alan's over. He's came up from Glasgow. He's up. He's Planet Fargon. He's also experiencing medical issues, and where
Hey,
he's
Big
might.
Al is there?
Yeah, that's him here. Look, there's Big Al there.
Man.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
man. Yeah, man.
I will see you soon.
Yeah, brother. I'll see you at Christmas.
Yeah, hold on, turn the mic. There you go. I hear you better now.
Yeah, I'll see you at Christmas or New Year, brother. I'll see you soon, man.
Yeah, man.
Keep up the good fight, brother. Keep planting those positive seeds, man.
Yeah, I will.
Cool.
Cheers.
Spot on, bud.
He has planted the seed.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. So that's how we roll. And like I say, he's microdosing. So he's using the same kind of thing, but what he's doing is taking such a tiny amount that you wouldn't even know he's taking anything. But this is called microdosing, and this is the same kind of technique where and it's mushrooms. So you microdose on this, and he had to go abroad so that he could legally do that. Can you believe that that's the extent that people have to go to legally manage to accomplish what he needs to cure him of his ailments? And he did 50 days recreation over there, which was a medical recreation, and to prove a point on the microdosing, and it's been quite successful and fruitful. And he'll be doing a report and probably some videos updating us on this, and look forward to hearing from that.
Very interesting. Can I just say something? You've been showing maps all night, haven't you, Sheeps and Neeps?
Yeah, that's in the corner there on that side. Yeah, it's 100 maps I've got of just all the different maps of that people have taken over the years. Some of them dating back to 16th century and stuff as well.
Quite detailed, aren't they, considering?
Yeah, every one of them are very big. I've only got them in a tiny little display there just now in the corner, but they're full size. You know, they'll take up the full screen. They're very detailed. I'm quite impressed with them. I think I've got them on my Google Drive, so if anybody really wanted a link, you know, I could just put the link in. Just send me an email or something like that, and I'll send them off to you. Give you the link from my Google Drive. It's just 100 maps. They're all worth having a look at some point. You know, there's just different view aspects. You know, it's just like how can look some of them. It's really strange. I like them. You know, we're here, right? size of them are, you see, they're absolutely massive, and the quality of them is fantastic. So I can zoom right in. Look, you'll see what I mean. These are huge, very, very clean. Some in Latin and stuff. Excellent work. Like I say, I've got 100 of them. It's 100 maps.
And
Yeah.
it's interesting how at all those old maps we can see some interesting stuff as some places which do not exist anymore, or they've been hiding from us, and also some interesting animals. Also, some live still, but some obviously do not exist anymore.
They
Yeah,
don't really want to know where we live, do they? Because we're on a spinning ball.
Well, that's not really working for me, that spinning ball. I'm not a sheepist.
And also hard to imagine that people who've been able to draw so precisely all those old maps, that they would put something which didn't been existed. That's ridiculous even to think about, you know.
Yeah, it's true.
The only thing what we should take our look on is anything added maybe on those maps, you know, or changed in the meantime, because all those maps are, I've been able to search and see, are from 15th, 16th, 17th, 18th century and so on. And it's obvious that somebody drew something after original period, because you can see it if it's not the same handwriting, or if also if something is did by different drawing style, then we can assume that that been added after, and could be or shouldn't be as original, you know. So
Anyway, Astral's joined us.
Yeah, just
Hi,
noticed that.
Astral.
hey, hello.
He just mentioned that he's got some struggling and some problems. So I don't know if he can hear us or.
Okay, till we're waiting him. I also prepared only one thing for tonight. It's from Encyclopedia Americana. That famous thing. I guess that most of you already been able to see that part. That they've been speaking about dome directly, you know, because they used the airplanes in 1947 and 1956, if I remember well, to do some research over the Antarctica, you know. And this is that video. It's not so long, so if you wish me to play some part of it, Karen, what you saying?
Because we can play it and I don't get a strike.
Okay, in that case, I can just jump. I can jump through it.
Yeah, do that then if you don't mind.
That you do not get that strike. And what's
Yeah. The other day when the Boogeyman was on, he showed something and they put one of those copy things on it so that someone had claimed it. And it's like, whoa.
Okay, I will jump it quickly, only to see one interesting part regarding Antarctica. That it's clearly written about the dome. I try to find that part. Okay, I think should be somewhere here. Why so bad quality?
I can just throw this up before you put it on as well. If I just keep speaking like this, I'll also put up a wee disclaimer. It comes up, disclaimer, Copyright Act 1976, fair use. There you go, just in case. I mean, it doesn't really do much.
Thank you very much.
Okay, cool.
Thank you
very much. Okay, this is that part. I will try to be easily visible and readable. You can read it from here.
Of the inland areas to be featureless in character.
Okay, now it's good quality. You see, here you can read a certain part that they've been exploring it from January 18, 1956, when they returned to the New Zealand. These flights proved that the inland area to be featureless in character with the dome. You see, word with the dome, clearly written. Dome at 13,000 feet high, and saying exactly at latitude 80 degrees south and latitude 90 degrees east. That's the important part. I can give you a link so you can share a link, or I can share it through chat. That's the only
Put it
part.
in the chat so they can look at it themselves.
Yeah. Okay. So this is very interesting thing. Why? Because only at that edition, if I am not wrong, they've been published that. At the next edition, it will they removed it already.
Do you want to?
So I will share that link for you all.
Thank you.
Can I interrupt everybody and just say
No.
good evening? Oh no,
yeah.
it's all right. I'll keep my mouth shut then. No, sorry, I was a bit late tonight. I'm not at home. I'm out and about, but interesting stuff, guys. Love hearing everything that you're saying. So it's great. Sheeps, brilliant.
Yeah, Anthony's already been and gone, but he said quite a mighty speech, really, didn't he? And message. So yeah, he. I think his phone was dying, so you missed him, Astral.
Yeah,
He will be
thanks,
back. He will be back.
Yeah. Is
Not
it?
now. Oh, sorry.
Oh, carry on. No, you carry on, Vinny.
I mean, not now, but he will be back one day.
Yeah, we understand that. Anyway, he's sort of getting ready to do things, isn't he? So he's got a lot on his mind right now.
Vinny, I've not heard a lot from you of late, brother. What have you been up to?
I'm very busy with a lot of stuff.
Been a bit ill as well, haven't you? Very.
Short and sweet.
Yeah, I just don't want. I don't want to talk about it.
Yeah. True,
No
true,
problem.
true.
I've been well, I would say courting a young lady today. Don't get me wrong, I've been flat smacking, and
That sounds worse.
it's gone awesome, honestly. Sometimes you need to take time to give the information, obviously, and I was in no rush at all, taking my time, and yeah, she got it fully 100% flat earth, flat smacked. It's in the bag, so I'm happy, you know, because she'll now go and tell other people.
You nailed her.
The
You
same.
nailed her, Astra.
Come on,
I'm
we
kidding.
don't use words like that, but yeah, I did. I nailed her.
Got her flat. They flattened her out.
She got flattened, yeah, totally flattened. This is what we need to do, though, people. I mean, all right, you know, joking to the side and everything. We have this commitment, or I feel I have a commitment, you know, that every day I need to at least tell, 5, 10 people, 20 people daily. You're not living on a globe. Do you think you're living on a globe? I even tell people, you know, just out the corner of my mouth kind of thing. You think you live on a globe? Idiot. Look into it. I don't want to be complacent and things, but we have to keep carrying on, doing what we're doing, and of course, spread the message. We're getting there. We are getting there.
Yeah, and actually, do you know something? Just through something which I saw someone saying, it might be that there is a minority believe in a globe, because all the sort of native people, their cultures are for flat plains. So it's only us that believe in the ball. Us, America, Europe. but some of the other countries they don't anyway through their cultures.
Yeah, well, when you look into the, you can just take the last 8 cosmologies. Is it called cosmology? Yeah. Aztecs, the Mayans, the Incas, well, you've got the South Americans, you've got the Europeans. We've all got our own cosmology from many years ago, and most of our cosmologies are all saying the same thing. It's flat, it's stationary, and you've got the stars that are moving around us, you know. It's only recently that we've been led to believe that we're living on a ball, like what NASA is telling us, you know. Look into it.
Oh, yeah, Astral. What else do you want to talk about today? Because obviously Anthony's gone, although I realise that, you know, everybody, he's come on and it's serious, isn't it, what he's talking about? I think it sort of choked Vinny and Anthony a bit because so much information should be free for the people and it isn't. So, is there anything else people want to talk about today? Everybody's muted.
Yeah, well, sorry, Karen. I'm busy at the moment. I have to do some other stuff at the moment. I have to leave. I want to thank you for having me and Anthony, and you will hear from us soon, very soon. I've got to go.
Right on, Vinny.
So I want to say thank you, everyone,
Talk to you soon, man.
everyone in the chat. See you
Thanks,
later.
Vinny. It's nice to hear you again, Vinny.
Yeah, nice to hear you too.
Good brother.
Bye, Vinny.
All right,
Bye-bye.
man, we'll see
Cheers.
you. Bye.
Bye.
Do we want to carry on talking live, or do you think, because obviously the message is about the CBD, do we want to talk a bit more, or Sheeps and Neeps has got a guest? Sheeps and Neeps is coming back.
Yeah, I'm here.
Sheeps, do you want to talk a bit more, or do you want to be with your guest?
I'm quite happy to be with my guests as well. If you just want to carry on, I could invite my guests in if you wanted.
Do,
Go on, then.
yeah, do that, because the more the merrier, as we always say. You know, we love that.
Okay. Well, I'll go and give my hand to get his computer set up. Give me a few minutes. Okay, cool.
All right.
Cool.
Cool, man. I'm just I'm driving home. Gotta go.
Yeah, what time is it for you? It's 4 o'clock in the afternoon for you. 4:30.
2:30. I think.
2:30. Oh yeah, sorry, that's 6 hours, 8 hours.
2:30. And I'm still working. You know, it's still kind of middle of the workday. I got to eat some lunch at some point. But I was listening to most of it. I had some CBD oil. A friend of mine was selling it. He sold me a couple bottles. It really helped me with my digestive system, man. I wasn't having any problems. I was just taking it because I thought it would be good. And that's amazing stuff, man. And it certainly works.
So you weren't actually ill when you took it. You were just taking it.
Just preventative, you know. Just trying to stay healthy and not get the flu or whatever. It really helped me digestively. It totally helped me out. It's amazing stuff.
Can I say something there, Kenny? Yeah. We've seen many documented evidences in regards to this, you know, THC, oil, this, that, and the other, what it can do, what it can't do, what it's shown to prove to do. In my opinion, what it can do is only good. The things that I've seen, it's only good. I mean, when you see a little 4-year-old child like having spasms and and yet give them the oil, put it under the tongue, 2 minutes later or 3 minutes, whatever it is, totally normal. People that have got what's it called when you're shaking? Parkinson's disease. They have an amazing, relief from all the shaking because of having THC. And you can see this after 10 minutes. It's this kind of thing that we need to, make people aware of.
I bet you a lot of people have seen this video probably about a lady who's in a sort of a coma state, and they give her that, and she wakes up. But of course, she'll go back to sleep again because she needs the stuff to keep her awake.
That's interesting. I haven't seen that. That's cool. I did see the seizure kid.
Yeah, that's good. That's really good.
That was amazing. I saw that maybe like many years ago.
Yeah,
maybe
me
like
too.
4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah, but the thing about that is that you can see immediately that it's helping. Why would anyone want to, stop something like that or stunt the I can't speak. I'm thinking Danish and trying to speak English. It's not going.
You'll be all right. We're not in a hurry here, are we?
Yeah, no hurry, no.
No hurry.
But you understand, Kenneth, that when we have this medicine that's doing so much good, much good.
It should be available for everyone.
Well,
but
yeah,
that,
exactly.
Again, we go back and we just talk about the money, and it's going to get corrupted.
It's a seed. It's a seed.
Like Dad said, it's $650 million for CBD oil.
It's a seed. Kenny, I can send you 10 seeds tomorrow if you want. Anyone else wants 10 seeds, I'll send them to you, man. No problem. It's a seed. Yep. And I put my hand on my heart here and I say this. Kenny, you give me your address, I will send you 10 seeds of the cannabinoid example, and it's a seed. There's nothing illegal in sending seeds over.
No. It shouldn't be. None of this shit should be illegal, man. That's
it isn't.
And it should have never been illegal to grow your own plants. My goodness, are you kidding me? Come on.
Yeah, the word illegal does not come from my vocabulary. It comes from, the powers that be. Eagle,
Right.
Allowed.
And it's just horrible, man, that we have to, fight for every inch, man. But you guys are great fighters, so
we shouldn't fight. We shouldn't fight. We should actually just say to people, this is our God-given right. It's a plant for Pete's sake,
For Pete's sake, man.
For Pete's sake. Peter and Pete's sake, it's a plant.
Quite ironic, isn't it?
You guys are so funny.
You're selling alcohol and making money out of that.
Do you want to know what irony is, Karen? Irony is this. We can go to the shops and buy everything available for every amount of money that we can, use, and that those products will kill us. But yet, we can actually grow our own products in our own gardens that will save us and keep us alive, but yet we'll be panic for it.
Right.
Yeah.
Take it outside, okay? It's a selling code.
Oh. Was that Astral then?
I think that was Astral.
Sounded like they were speaking English.
Maybe they were. I don't know. It's sad that a plant, for goodness sakes, is illegal or not available to everyone. I mean, in California here, man, it's pretty legal at this point, but even when it was illegal, it was still readily available everywhere. A lot of people I knew had, hash or something. Always had something.
Hey.
I've just been thrown out my little
I can turn off the headphones
on the train because I'm talking. So you're not allowed to talk in that cabin. I'm like, what? Said, well, take it outside. So now I'm stood between the two. Well, you know what I mean. Between that carriage and this carriage. Yeah. Okay. I don't care. I mean, man, I'm good to speak here. No one's here.
Right on.
but it's bureaucracy, red tape, propaganda. You know, it's all this shit, man. I mean, God damn it! Can we not speak anywhere? Are we not allowed to speak anymore?
No, free speech comes at a cost.
Of course.
That's right.
Anyway, welcome to Sun and Moon.
Thank you very much.
SAMFU.
Oh, thank you.
I feel a bit honoured to be even listening to the conversation. What you guys have been talking about is so very interesting, and I made a comment in the chat just saying that all of these seeds of empathy that are being planted are going to really show fruits of health to so many people.
Yeah.
You know, and there's so many different people dealing with different conditions, and my own specific condition is just like generalized pain with replaced hips and arthritis and things. And over the space of a couple of years, I've detoxed and withdrawn 3 times from all the strong analgesics and also the psychotropic tryptamines of gabapentin, pregabalin, and Lyrica. And I really need to try and focus a lot of what you guys have been talking tonight to really encapsulate even the expert earlier on to point out something very important, and it's this, is that all these impulses we feel with different energies and different illnesses that come to us is all through neurotransmitters. All these pharmaceuticals are really just synthesized plants that we can use naturally. And it's all about these neurotransmitters that they scramble before it goes through a thing called the dorsal hub. And the dorsal hub is works like a CPU in between our impulses and the brain. So when these neurotransmitters are scrambled with the pharmaceuticals, this is what gives people the effect to be able to relax when they're in pain, or if they're having depression, not to feel so anxious. But it creates so many other different side effects as they put in the box, and they put very cleanly on bits of paper, like 1 in 10, 1 in 100, 1 in 1,000. But the thing is, I've now finished my experiment. I'm now back in the UK, and I don't have access to what I had in Holland. For over 50 days microdosing with medicinal mushrooms, I have been able to not only regenerate this dorsal hub, and for me to take my own control of this, it is now still active and running. This is now my 2nd day without any sort of medicinal mushrooms, and there's my close family and friends will tell you, I'm like a walking miracle just now. I've been on these strong pharmaceuticals for over 30 years. And it's all about, do you know what we're all doing just now? I do the exact same thing. We really do swim in the surface of all of this. And it's like really getting down to the science. What they already know is that we can self-heal. And I ain't talking about touch my hand and I'll heal you, or for $9.99, get on your knees and this is how it's going to heal you. I'm talking about for me to empower myself, to let you guys know that you can empower your own selves. And it really is just from being a patient to the planet and not being a customer to the industry. And that sounds like a bit of a throwaway line, but there's nothing more true to me now, you know? And it's like I see everybody searching for the right oil or the right thing that's going to get their treatment. And the thing is, CBD oil will not cure like snake oil. There's thousands of different plants out there, medicinal marijuana plants, and there is a plant out there for everybody. CBD as a natural element is high in endocannabinoids. Our immune system works from endocannabinoids as the main fuel injector to the immune system. So any CBD in your system is good, but you won't just be able to take any CBD for specific serious conditions. And that's what I'm a little bit worried about the whole scene just now. This alternative is like alternative. There's a native thing to all of us, and it's this planet. And they're trying to alter, like the alternative is the other thing. The other thing is the thing. And this is why it really is legal. Sorry, guys. Illegal, should I say. Wish it was legal.
Do you want to explain a little bit more about what you did then in Holland?
But what I did really was, I did this for the 3rd time. Who I call my biological inspiration said to me last summer, even through my condition, that the tablets I used to be on, I was only using strong THC at the time in Holland. And he said to me, have you tried medicinal mushrooms, magic mushrooms, as they're known for your pain? And I said, no. I said, I've taken mushrooms, I've taken LSD, I've never ever thought of taking them medicinally. So when he showed me the mushroom to take, when I looked at it in my hand, I said, that won't do anything to me. I won't feel anything from that. That's not going to work. But that's not what the molecule does. The molecule does work in the most subtle of effect. And what it does, rather than the pharmaceuticals, it opens up receptors, which means you can deal with pain, you can deal with anxiety, you can deal with depression, you can deal with all that sort of stuff. You just feel so more abundant to everything. And I could not tell you the massive change in me in over 50 odd days. I'm just talking about the massive self-confidence, self-esteem. There's no negativity out there that you can't find solutions for. And if this is what this simple little molecule can let you feel, more depth of empathy, more depth of connection, transparency, leading back to all parts of history where you know everything has been a demonic and spiritual shift as we have went, to keep this illegal, to keep us down, to stop me from healing myself. These bastards of hell, sorry for swearing, man, but I tell you, these soul suckers, and I have eventually got some fantastic news from my doctors. I'd planned to come back from Holland this time after the third time from detoxing. And sorry, he'd asked me what I was doing. I was microdosing on a half a gram of medicinal strong Mexican mushrooms at first. That's all I was taking. And I had to move up to a gram because I didn't feel it was having any real effect on me. But for my specific pain conditions, 1 gram a day worked perfectly. Absolutely perfectly. But I would manage to get off all the progabalin at the time I was on. Then when I came back to the UK, I ran out of medicine. Very quickly, I was putting my hand out for the pharmaceuticals again. And not that I wanted to kill myself, though I had enough pharmaceuticals in my drawer to do so, I didn't want to wake up the next morning. So much so that I actually thought about what the funeral would be like and that people would miss me. And hey, people will get on with their lives in the next couple of weeks. I even went through all that sort of psychological sort of turmoil and being anxious, getting little pains in your chest and thinking, this is it. My last thoughts. I mean, unbelievable. But this is the position and the shadows that these pharmaceuticals can lead you to. Because that ain't me. That ain't me. Me just being a patient to this planet. This is me. Still being able to, my body's broken. I've got 2 very degenerated discs at the bottom of my back, both hips replaced, both needing replaced, and other surgeries needing planned. But I can deal with every single pain and ailment. I have no depression and anxiety because I was able to take a simple little mushroom. It's really unbelievable why it is illegal, but it's very understandable because this sort of thing, if anybody can tap into a simple little hyperdimensional herb in the smallest of scale and then regenerate brain to be able to you to accept and absorb all of your personal ailments and heal yourself, this is why it's illegal, because it wipe out a whole industry. You can't buy a mushroom over the counter in Amsterdam. 18 months they weren't allowed to be selling them recreationally, and they were selling them to people like myself medicinally. Then it had to stop. Then they put it in some chocolate, then that had to stop. Now if you actually want to get any sort of mushroom kits, you need to go into the shop, you try and order this sort of stuff, you can't even get it online. But what they're saying is, if you want to do this sort of thing, you can do it yourself. Do it to yourself, do it in your privacy of your own home, but don't be promoting this as any sort of anything else to do with medicine, because they want it kept recreational, and nothing is recreational. It is all medicine.
Can I just ask you something?
So sorry, mate. Sorry, brother.
Yeah, no problem. I love hearing you. It's well, actually, it's very nice hearing from you because we follow similar traits. Obviously, mushrooms. It's October now.
Yeah.
There are mushrooms all over the place. If you live in the Northern Hemisphere and it's like, you know, October, November, December, yes. Before the frost comes anyway, you're going to get loads of 100%. Mushrooms. You know, we've had a bad mushroom year this year because obviously we've had a fantastic summer. But
sorry, can I ask your name?
Yeah, Astral.
Astral.
I'm the Astral thief, yeah. Tell me.
Nice to meet you, brother. I'm being really totally serious here. I said on my live chats, who do I speak to about this? Because who's going to really want to take me seriously if this has actually happened to me? I mean, I'm really serious. I'm going to be getting another MRI scan in the next 4 to 5 weeks. And if these discs have seemed to have regenerated and healed themselves, how can I stand and walk without a stick and staff? I've been told that my femoral nerve has been snapped and I wouldn't have any feeling in my left leg, but yet I can now stand independently on 2 legs. Do I still have pain and stiffness and I have to move slow? Of course I do, but the dynamics and mechanics in my body have changed, and this is what I want to propose. I don't know why I get these thoughts. I always say it was mushroom led, but I still feel my brain is in this position. As we know that water retains memory, if this is the case, I'll now propose that tissue, not only tissue, but DNA can retain memory. And see, people who have neurological conditions and who have fibromyalgia and this sort of stuff could also be retained memory within deep DNA from family history, where people can sit just generally not understand why they've got sore shoulders or sore backs or where this pain's coming from. And they go to doctors and surgeons, they get all the CAT scans and MRI scans and say, there's nothing wrong with you.
Well, we know that our bodies, they retain memory, don't
Of course. Everything,
they? Muscle memory, for example, or, you know, even making a cup of tea, everything is like, you know, our steps, our just waking up in the morning, it's all memorized automatically. It's all from it comes from your spine, isn't it?
So let me just tell you, Astral, about 25 or 26 days in, I was still having to use my big staff stick that I must always walk about with just for my own self-confidence that I've got it. But I'm not using it as much. But that day, I realised using the stick was making my bottom of my back more sore. So as I was walking, I started to lift the stick from the ground, and I realised if I just walked at a slow, easy pace, this so-called crutch that I was relying on was making the pain worse. Now, what I realised from that was I was stimulating memory to how I stood, how I walked, how I can move while dealing with the pain, you know?
Mm.
And this is why I really do need to speak to an expert, because I don't know. And a lot of stuff that I've spat out to you tonight is stuff that I've just read about neuroscience. And when I read about neuroscience, they say that they are making leaps and bounds daily, which really just does show probably how much they really are explaining they don't know about the brain and the capability. But what I've explained tonight about the neurotransmitters and the dorsal hub lets us know that they have known all along the capability and power of self-healing. With a high immune system and a high connected spiritual immune system, nothing is impossible. But with everything we eat and everything we take, especially with the pharmaceuticals, which takes down immune system, how are we ever going to self-heal to try to help to heal others? This is why it's illegal. Because it would take out a full industry, Astral.
Yeah, you know, I agree. We have to heal ourselves. First and foremost, we have to heal ourselves and use our own medicine, healing ourselves before we go to a doctor. That's well, I've not always believed in that, but that's something that I've grown to believe more in. You know, I don't want to go to a doctor. I really don't. I mean, I need to go to a doctor so seriously, but I refuse to go to them because I know he's not going to help me. He's going to just put a plaster. He's going to put a plaster on a broken leg.
Yeah, but I think it's very important. I think it's very important that you still go and get diagnosis, but through discernment, treat yourself.
Yeah,
I mean, we don't have the
MRI
scans. We don't have the CAT scans. We don't know if you've got blood disease or cancer and stuff like that.
No.
But once we get diagnosed, then we can treat ourselves, brother.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But then it also means that we have to go to the doctor to get diagnosed with something that we don't even have, man. Do you understand what I'm saying? I can go to the doctor and he'll tell me, I'm sorry to tell you, but you've got cancer of the toes and cancer of the knees and cancer of the...
doctor, but you come to me as a doctor and I say to you, Astro, I'm going to say that you have got this disease wrong with you because I'm wanting to get you onto pharmaceuticals, but you don't have to actually have a disease at all. You just say to me, thank you, Dr. Walker, turn right out my office, and all you're going to do, brother, is go and put lots of endocannabinoids into your system. You're going to go and get really healthy. You're going to go to the woods and take all the natural elements. So all that's going to really happen there is you're going to really heighten where you already are. So it wouldn't make any difference if they misdiagnose. And let me just say something in chat just now, very important, that I found out through some searching last night. The malpractice against the NHS is at an absolute high at the moment. They are paying out billions upon billions every year out of court settlements, payouts, because they can't afford to have all this stuff going through court and getting into the public domain. We're talking about overdiagnosis, underdiagnosis, we're talking about overprescription use, all this sort of stuff that ticks all the boxes that many people are suffering at the hands of being diagnosed, but then double suffering at the pharmaceutical use.
Can I just tell you a little story? My granddad went to hospital. He had something wrong with his knees. He needed to have a knee surgery. He died. We never saw him again.
See, there's just so many stories like that.
But it's because they weren't aware of this drug or whatever that they gave him was going to kill him. Of course they were aware of it. But I mean, fucking hell, they're not stupid, are they? It's us that are stupid that are saying.
You see, there's a massive problem here, mate. There's a massive problem, right? I've been through 5 major operations, and I've had doctors, surgeons, nurses that have looked after me. They really have. They really, really have. But on the flip side of that, all the pharmaceuticals and the way that they go about the treatment afterwards kills you, makes you dependent, gives you addictions. And some people don't live through that at all, if not through the operation, although it's just happened, but you're saying with your relative. I mean, these people of empathy and love that get into an industry are very much aware of the pharmacology side of what they're involved in. And it's like, if they're not aware that this is a perpetual industry that's churned, when you get an operation diagnosed, then you get the treatment after that. It keeps you going back to cardiology, then gastroenterology, then osteoarthritis, and it's, you just go around in this big roundabout of departments and ailments, and everybody knows, and it's like nothing's going to change, but everything must change, and people must start to stand up and speak about this. Doctors, nurses, and surgeons.
If you look back to where medicine began, if you look back to the history of where medicine began, medicine, like hospitals and students, and well, you don't have to go further than to find out it's all the Jesuits that are behind everything, man. And well, need I say more?
No. All the Jesuit hand movements and things.
Has your pain gone then now?
This is the strange thing about it. The pain's not gone. So the pain's not gone, but now it seems like it just... It's just a really... How can I even explain it now? It's not even the same as it was. So it is there. It's noticeable. Still get stiffness. Every now and again I need to stand up. I get what I call is the shark bite, which is this impulse of a shooting pain I get from sciatica, from the arthritis in my spine as well. So it comes, but it's like, see if you maybe had a really a new dog that barked and barked and barked, and it really, really annoyed you. It really annoyed you. It annoyed you to the point you're like, gee, that dog. It really got you emotional. But eventually, you get so used to the dog barking, it just became part of everything. That's what it's sort of like. That's what it's sort of like. It's like I've now taken over the pain. The pain's, if I still get I still believe if I get an MRI scan tomorrow, it's still going to show up all the arthritis and the damaged bits of the discs at the bottom of the spine just now. But how am I still being able to deal with everything without 0 pharmaceuticals? And I was on so much, the amount you would expect someone to be on generalized arthritis of the spine, and just a general pain management condition. So I know that this is a miracle, and I need to speak to someone quickly.
Yeah, we know that all this, these medicines work, but also on top of that, we have this knowledge about noetic science, mind over matter.
Yes, exactly.
And people fob it, and they dismiss it and what have you, but there is absolutely 100% proof in mind over matter.
Yes,
because
yes.
You can see it again and again and again, and people verify it. They'll do all sorts of things like walking over Yeah, yeah, okay.
Yeah, we've seen it
Blazing
all.
hot coals,
Yeah.
and yeah, okay. That's not such a trick in that sense, but when I talk about pure mind over matter, like a cancer within them, but yet they dismiss it within their own mind and say, I have not got cancer, I have not got cancer, I have not got cancer. Within, matter of 6 months or however long it is, they've cured themselves just by their own positive
Power of belief.
Exactly, yeah, exactly. Their own belief that
So
they don't have it.
rather than
You've
have
also seen, Cheaps. You've also seen this, on this has also been online. There were a few, I think 3 or 4 Chinese surgeons where they've not done any, digging into anyone's bodies or anything. It's only external surgery, thought surgery,
yes.
where they've removed a tumor only by chanting.
Aye,
You've seen it. If you haven't seen it, you
aye,
should look.
I
But they
have
can
seen
do
it.
this. This is Chinese. And I love this because Western medicine is just, it's, forgive me for saying this, it's totally fucked up and it doesn't work.
Oh,
Eastern medicine and the ancient medicines are much better because they knew what was going on, and they were more in tune with their bodies.
Yeah, man.
yeah, I've seen that rituals where they do that, and they are actually chanting, praying, and there's absolutely, it's almost like a fucking magician's trick. It's like, how can that be possible? But it is possible, so you have to take it on board that it is working. There's no trickery involved.
It's all a vibration.
It is,
Yeah,
and it's proved right in front of your eyes. It's that remarkable that it's hard to believe. You'd think there's some trickery going on, but it's not. It is. Science can't put their finger on it. That's what I like most about it. There's no explanation for it.
I've got an explanation.
Yeah, yeah.
here's a prime. When I was a kid, 5 years old, I had a big wart on my little finger. Okay, my little finger. And I was embarrassed by it. I was like, oh, what's that? What's that? I had this wart on my finger, on the outside of my little finger. My uncle said to me, get a piece of bacon, put it in the garden, bury it, and your wart will disappear. I was like, what? He said, yeah, that's what you got to do. So I did that. I took the piece of bacon, dug a hole in the ground, buried it in the ground, and do you know what? My flipping wart disappeared. Now, if you tell me it's because putting bacon into the ground made my wart disappear, or if it was mind over matter and noetic science, nowadays I'll be more prone to believe in the noetic science deal about it, like, mind over matter. It works, and it worked, and it does work.
Oh, what's happened to the net? Still on? Yeah, still here. Just went quiet. I'm gonna wait to fill up my burner.
I did go back now. The power of positivity is unbelievable.
Yes, interesting story, Astral. Really.
Yeah. Sorry, I've muted myself. So, amazing information coming out today, guys.
That's it. Yeah, it's really good to share all this stuff.
What were you showing us?
I'm just saying it's really good to share all this stuff, that everybody's got this things that are working for each other, and just keeping searching for natural remedies. I just think it's just so great that everyone's sharing all this sort of stuff,
talking about it more. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely talking about it more.
Yeah, it's got to be the future, isn't it? Not just what we're talking about, like remedies and things, but you know, many things like living cheap, free electricity, and all sorts of. You know.
Yes.
Which you can get from the ground.
Yeah,
Because
from
there's
old
a place
speakers.
in Newbury where they put these rods into the ground and they're getting their electricity from that. So we would have had that rather than up. And then it would have been, you know, good for the environment. Probably can't go down, can they? Because all our history's under there. So if they went down, they'd be uncovering things that they don't want us to know about. It's like we're living on a film set of a film set of a film set.
It almost is, isn't it?
We're just the top layer of the film set.
Well, there's some evidence of mud floods and mudslides, and when you look at where all the stuff is, a lot of it is buried quite deep under, and it's like, why is some stuff buried and some stuff isn't? It makes you think that there's been some kind of floods of some kind, but not so much water floods, but mud floods, landslide type floods.
Well, maybe some of it they dug out and some of it they didn't.
I think when you look into lots of our history, you'll find out that most of the history is all wrong. Most of the history, if not all of history, is wrong. And we know whoever won the war that year, they're the ones who wrote the history books. And it will always be, and it always has been. And if you look back in time and you will, you know, do a bit of research and shit, you'll find out that the ones who had the most money back then, well, they're the ones in charge today as well.
We can't say how long history really is anymore, can we? Because they've lied about everything. Made everything sound thousands of millions of trillions of light years of stuff, and none of that's true, is it?
No, it doesn't seem true at all. That's the reality is, after researching, there seems to be so many falsehoods out there, so many things that we've been led to believe are true, which can quite easily be proven otherwise. Not by this isn't just people guessing. There's actually physical evidence to suggest that there's not the information we've been told is what it is. You know, completely different. And they still deny it.
It's disgusting, really, what they've done.
Why are they hiding it, though? What's the reason for it? And it can only be oppression.
Instead, and things like that.
Yeah. It keeps suppressing us because we have to keep believing that we need a government to control us. Well, we don't need a government to control us.
You know, my take on why they're hiding everything from us is because, well, obviously, consumerism. They make money on everything.
Yeah.
And if they've made something, they make sure that thing they made will break quite quickly, and that you'll buy a new one, you know, before long. And that's where it goes, isn't it? It's like, you know, we buy things, they break. We buy things, they break. We buy things, they break. We buy a new one, it's still going to break. You buy a new one, it's going to break. Yes. Understand how life is. They just make things to break so you can buy a new one. Consumerism. It's all about money. That's all it's ever been about. Money, money, money. Buy, buy, buy. Understand. Fall in line and make sure you buy this shit. You know, innit? But end of the day.
Yeah, I have to agree with you. It's me rather upset too, to say the least.
Well, you look at things a bit differently nowadays, don't you?
Oh, very much so. Very much so. You can see through the lies, so it's hard to go back. You've seen it.
Can't go back, can you?
No, because you're going back to a lie. You're not going back to a truth. You're going back to a lie. Whereas we discovered the truth. That's where it's important. People seem to look at. They call this flat Earth. Whereas leave the flat Earth out of it. Just it's not a ball. That's for sure. So when it's not a ball, then what else can be left? What shape? Well, that's not sure. We're not sure of what shape it is. I'm not sure what shape it is. I know it's not a ball because of the conformities of what water and that suggests. It just tells you that it cannot be curving on a ball. So going on that basis, then we're living on a level plane. So then it would become, okay, what would be the next question is, how deep are we then? How deep is this? Well, we know how deep the ocean is, and we know when we get to the bottom of the ocean, there's an ocean floor. However, we don't know what's underneath that. The deepest we've ever went is 12 miles. We've went no further than that, and that's not very far at all.
So you think it's amazing when you realise that? Because, I didn't even think about it till getting more into flat Earth, that if they've only been 12 kilometres down, then how do they know all the rest of that crap that we've thought we've got a molten core and all that crap?
Well, they don't. They don't. This is just a theory. It's a theory, and we know that if they're going to base there being a molten core in the middle, then it can't be a magnetic core because molten metal is not magnetic. So that can't be a magnetic core. It can't be a molten metal core and magnetic. It can be a metal core, but not molten, if they want to play it that way. But why would it be why would there be metal? Why would there be a clump of metal in the middle? What would be the reason for that? Is there an explanation why there'd be a clump of metal in the middle?
To make the ball.
Yeah. The only thing that makes sense.
Yeah, all swinging around and sloshing, like a tsunami in there. Backwards and forwards.
It's impossible.
How would they know? They haven't ever been there.
No, they're impossible. They can only guessipulate. What's that?
Hey, do you remember when you were little and he used to say, "Oh, if I burrowed right now, I'd come out at Australia." Well, how stupid's that?
Well, what way would you come out? If you was to come out, which way would you start digging? You know you're going to dig like that, going down. But how are you going to dig when you're coming out?
I suppose it depends which way you want to go. Like, do I want to do the whole hog and go to Australia? Or do I want to go to Africa?
It's how do you get out?
Yeah, and anyway, with gravity and everything, wouldn't things be different underground? with what gravity would do to you?
The simple answer to gravity is, can you feel it? I mean, we know that any sense at all, if I stand you or sit you in a seat or anything like that, if I do any movement to you or your surroundings, you will be aware of it. If I tilt the surroundings, you will be aware, I'm starting to move. It doesn't matter how subtle I try and do it, you will experience, I am noticing something. I'm not sitting level, you've turned me, you've twisted me. Whatever it is, this is noticeable. So, yeah, 2 seconds, just 2 seconds. So if this is noticeable that this can happen, how can gravity be used in its effect, but we don't experience this effect? Because I try to say that you can see it in the different parts of the world, gravity will have a different physical effect. We should be aware of that in a plane. We should go from one side of the world to the other side, and we should have a noticeable difference in, I can't explain what it would be because it doesn't happen, but we would feel that difference, that you're not lying the same as what you did on the other side of a ball.
Yeah, you never hear a captain going, hang on a minute, we're just speeding up now, we're just gaining 300 or 400 miles an hour because the spin's getting faster, etc., etc.
Or any kind of nonsense like that, yeah. Yeah, no, sorry, Astral. What was you going to say?
Yeah, sorry, I was exactly what you just said. Then basically, you know, we're all waking up to this. We're all aware of things. The easiest that I find is like what I've just done this evening. Talk to someone, flat smacked her, first time ever hearing about flat Earth, and I tell her, okay, you take water, look in your glass there, that water is level. Put water in your bath, it will also be level. The Earth is made, what did they say, 71% water, and yet it's supposed to conform to a ball. It's impossible. It's not happening. You know, either you're a fucking total idiot to understand it, or you're a complete retard and you just want to cling onto a ball and you're globalized and you want to be a space pilot.
We all used to believe that, though, didn't
Yeah,
we?
I understand that, Karen. But what I'm saying is, like, you know, if people use their critical thought, then surely they will understand that water cannot stick to the underside of a ball unless you're in a bath and you're a guy.
Yeah, you don't want any of that crap. Sorry, he couldn't. I've got a fancy kettle through there, and he wasn't sure how to work it. But so he just used my other kettle, and it's like, nah, throw that away. You're not using normal tap water. You're not allowed to use tap water in this house. It's got to be distilled. So I've showed him how to use it. I've got a tap thing that it's hot water. It's hot water constantly, just 24 hours a day, and it only uses 2 watts. It's very economical. Constant hot water all the time. Brilliant.
Wow.
Yep, it's very good. So I use my distiller, which is over there. That's my water distiller, and I keep that in this room because I use the water distiller. The heat that comes off of that heats the room up. And then I take the water from the water distiller, put it into my kettle, and that water is now going to be kept warm. Well, not warm, it's kept at boiling hot all the time, 24 hours, and it only uses 2 watts. It's very economical. It's fantastic. If you're going to have tea, if you drink more than 5 cups of tea a day, meaning you boil your kettle more than 5 cups of tea a day, you're going to save money by using this. Absolutely guaranteed, because every kettle uses about 2 kilowatts to boil. Almost every kettle. Sorry?
What is it, Sheeps, then?
What is it? It's like a big fancy kettle. Give me a second, I'll show you.
Why, hey.
Okay, till we wait him just to say that deepest hole is just about 12 kilometers, not miles. He probably missed that. One thing, the deepest in the ocean is 11 kilometers. Yeah, okay, go on.
Okay, so this is it. It's just a...
Thanks, Freeman.
No problem.
It's in here, you just fill it up. And it's just, like I say, it's just 24 hours all the time. I can't show you the digital display because I've unplugged it to show you this, but it tells you what temperature it is and everything on there. And it holds 5 litres. So I can just go. I can go anywhere with this. Put it down there. Look, I can take that around to my friend's house and just plug it in, and it uses next to nothing. So it doesn't even use electricity. But we can all have brilliant cups of tea with the distilled water, because it's only distilled water that's ever been in it. And not only that, because I use distilled water, I don't get any build-up or any problems like that other people might get. It's fantastic. Works excellent.
It's a big kettle. It's not a kettle, but it's quite big. Hey, So, everybody's muted again.
When you buy it, yeah.
We are here.
Get 20% off. It's brilliant. It's so good.
I was saying it's like a big kettle then.
Yeah, it is. Just exactly like a big kettle. And you've got varying temperatures on it. You can set it to whatever you want. You can actually make a good cup of tea on 85 degrees. It's good for coffee and tea just at 85 degrees. You know, you don't even need it to be boiling. But I usually have it at 95. And that's perfect for a good cup of tea. Don't know why
So
you took a bloody teaspoon. Why you got a teaspoon in your cup?
Can I ask you?
Ask Vinny.
Sheeps.
Ask Vinny.
Ask Vinny.
What's
Vinny.
your preferred tea?
I'm happy enough with any tea. Vinny, why has he got a teaspoon in his cup?
I ask you this because I'm living in Denmark, right? I've lived in Norway, I've lived in Sweden, I've lived in Israel even. When I ask you, what's your favourite tea?
Assam.
You are able to get tea now, right? But imagine you were living in the middle of nowhere and you had to get some tea sent to you, which is what I've done. Taken from that point of view, what's your favourite tea?
Well, is it going to be the Ceylon or one of that types, you know? Or what's yours then?
Liz or PG or what, you know?
Oh, that side. Oh, well, I go for one. It's I think it's an Assam. I think what blend it is.
Yeah, the black teas. I like the black teas.
Yeah, I don't like green teas. No. I'm wait to get one actually.
Too much tea talk.
When you speak about tea and what kind anyone like, it's worth to mention that tea is a cure, and people practice it for many years, for hundreds and hundreds of years.
Yeah.
It's not only a drink for enjoy; it's also a cure.
Well, recently I've been drinking a lot of lemon and ginger, just hot water with lemon and ginger and some honey, and it's been a great drink to drink over the last few weeks.
Yeah, honey is always good to mix with everything.
Oh yeah, yes.
So this treatment that you had, do you need it again, or do you think that that's enough? That's changed everything.
I really don't know. What I was saying was this is my third full day without taking all the medicine I was taking, just using the herbal marijuana, and I was feeling still the highs from being able to deal with everything, but the low was energy drop. This was the main thing that I noticed microdosing after maybe say 2 weeks, 3 weeks, was this massive increased energy. And I don't mean any sort of manic that you can't focus on it. It's just like you get some sort of dissonance going on. It's really sort of focused energy. Where this, if you are creative, you're more creative. If you are inspirational, more inspiration, but it comes in a sort of energy form. You know, so that's what I sort of recognized yesterday was, oh, shit, here's my energy. You know, but it was very quickly that I started reading something and listening to some music, and before I knew it, the energy was just there. I was like, whoa. So it very much is like I feel that after 55 days, the engine is up and running to full speed, and now it's running, but not in full speed. I think after 55 days of and it wasn't just microdosing. There was days of macrodosing. There was days of megadosing, and I didn't go to the teradose. But I like to get deep and spiritual with the herbs as well. But it was mainly for pharmaceutical withdrawal and to try and use this to supplement what I was taking. I knew it worked before, and I know it will work for thousands and thousands of people. You know, I so know it will work for many people like myself.
So have you met Vinny then?
No, not yet. We'd arranged to meet a few times when I went to Holland for 3 weeks, then stayed another 2 or 3 weeks extended holiday, But you know, Vinny's very busy, and sometimes he just can't get to see people or whatever. But we'll meet up soon. We've talked on chat and talked in hangouts before, but we haven't met yet. Not yet.
So, Sheeps.
He's just coming back with his tea.
Oh yeah, he went to get a cup of tea, didn't he?
He'll be right back.
I was just going to sort of ask him the same question in the sense that he's starting to do and take different things, how he was feeling.
I really, do you know, so it just makes such common sense that we turn to the planet when we're really ill. That's all. And it's the mass hypocrisy that still goes on in the sort of people who we do call sort of like sheep that continue to facilitate an industry and don't gather enough sort of support against, like, with people like ourselves who are trying to make this aware. There's the man there.
Yeah, we could hear him coming back. Are you a flat earther then? Just asking.
No, I'm not a shapist.
But you don't believe we live on you're a global denier or denialist.
No, I don't deny nothing.
You're not a shapist. You're not a shapist. What are you?
I'm not a shapist, but I love all my brothers and sisters who are globists and flat earthers, and I want us all to meet in the middle and just work out that instead of trying to work out the shape of the planet, let's just look to the planet and work what the planet is asking us to do. It's not asking us to work out the shape, it's asking for help. It's asking for help. Sorry, brother.
Can I yeah, okay, it's open to discussion, obviously.
Yeah, sorry.
But I'm under the impression, anyway, let's put it this way. I'm under the impression the world I'm living on does not move. I can look and I can see the stars are moving above me, but I'm not feeling that my world is moving. So I'm coming from a perspective that I'm living on a heliocentric Earth. Sorry, geocentric.
Fucking David Kelly, I remember.
Fucking stoner.
Just
fucking stoner Earth.
Half smoked and half drunk.
Could I just maybe also put in, see if every single person on this planet thought that this planet was a different shape, does it matter?
Yeah, it matters to me.
Why does it matter,
Yeah,
brother?
Of course it matters.
Because we got light.
Hang on a second. If you believed you live on a square, fair enough. If you believe you live on an egg, fair enough. If you you lived on a piece of paper, a big widespread piece of paper, fair enough. But there you have three different perspectives, three different possibilities. Three wild possibilities.
Yeah, I know what you're saying there, but I think
if you're living on a square, you're limited. If you're living on an egg, you're also limited. But if you're living on a piece of paper, well, how big is that piece of paper?
I think the only problem comes, brother, if I then try to prove my perception that my paper planet is not your egg planet. If I just say, do you know what, I think the planet's a shape, what I'm saying is, what does it really matter, the shape of the planet? What does it really matter?
Well, of course it matters, because you need
to understand
we got
lied to.
Where are you from?
Sorry,
where are you from?
We've always known we've been lied to. We've always known we've been lied to. So what does it matter?
This what you just said there, I'm going to go off now, right? Because that pisses me off when people say, what does it matter what shape it is?
Sorry
to say, but it really means it has so much significance to us. So much. And it is the fundamental of everything in all reality, isn't it?
I'm sorry if you're going off because of something I said. I just don't believe what everybody else believes, and I don't think it matters because it's a lot deeper than this. I do think there's so many different sorts of conspiracy theories out there. Like, people like ourselves are genuinely empaths at heart, and we've got this planet at heart and do want transparency and truth. And we do know as social construct and social planning has went on, and all the subliminal stuff from thousands of years have got us all looking at different things in different perspectives. But yet, at the heart, at the core of humanity, there's good people like yourselves. And like this sort of discussion, we can find ourselves that this sort of hippie just expressing these truth, honesty, and communication can maybe make someone saying, I want to leave because this thing that someone says, what does it matter, upsets you. And
You're a flat Earth group. Flat Earth to us covers everything. It covers all the lies, and so we've been, a lot of people have been very shocked at how many lies there is, and it does matter where we live, because there's always someone else trying to control you, and it's the whole thing.
But once we know that they lie to us, do we not move on from that?
Yeah, listen, it's so important because two major questions for all of us are who we are and where we live, And to understand better who we are, you should know where we live, right? Especially if, let's say, this place have a dome, as I showed some measurement from 1956, That means that somebody for sure placed that dome on us. Is it God? Some people believe it's a God. I personally don't believe, but somebody must made it, because it's unnatural that something, do not let us leave this place, and that's a very, very first question. If we are not allowed to move out from here, why is that? Probably this is some kind of school for I don't know for which purposes, or they abusing or using us.
Yes.
Yeah.
In many ways, but mostly psychologically, I believe, because if you just wander into the woods on any sort of extra dimensional herbs, it's going to put you otherly in contact, not just with the physical, but with the spiritual elements of this planet. You'll know what this planet is for and what you are for and why we are here.
You say that you don't know what shape it is, but you've mentioned planet now about 20 times.
Yeah, but planet is just a perception of what we know as what a planet is. And I'm called Planet Far Gone because me as a person is far gone. And everyone that knows me says that I'm not normal in the way I go at my medication, the way I go about certain things in politics. Because
No, I'm sorry to interrupt you, brother.
I
love listening to what you're saying, because people like you, people like I, people like Karen, Flat Earth Dude, all of us, we don't take things for granted.
No.
Basically, we will not take anything for granted. That's me. I don't take that for granted. Someone says to me, "Oh, well, that's the way it is." I'm like, okay, I disagree. The first thing I will say to them is, "Well, I disagree." Why? Because I have to. Why do you disagree? Because what you're telling me is the truth you're saying, but yet you don't know if it is or not.
Exactly, and that's exactly where I'm from. I don't know if it's the truth or not either. It's just something that I feel.
Don't take things for granted. We have to get to the bottom of everything, don't we?
The
I love it.
The seed in the source. I love it too, mate.
If I understood you well, I think you wish to say that for your point of view, for you personally, do not means so much what's the shape of the earth, right? Well, I agree completely with that point.
To be honest with you, I'd maybe say about 15 years ago, I was doing all this sort of stuff, and it was only because after I realised the deep shadowed and spiritual the pull that's been put on humanity for generations and generations, that they keep us spinning our wheels in so many different things. What I personally came to realise was, what does it really matter if I can reach out and touch a brother, touch a family member, make a difference in the community? That's all the shape that I need to know, or the conspiracy I need to know, is that they keep us busy with so many things. That's what was my only personal conclusion. But you know what?
Well,
I can think different tomorrow.
Can I apologize for myself and the way that I, reacted to what you said there? Because now you say it in a different way that I can react also in a different way.
Yes, brother.
I understand you totally, and I love that what you're saying.
And
it's true what you said there.
And if we were in each other's company, we'd be giving each other a hug right now. I feel you too, brother.
But it's this what we need to do: make people aware of what you're seeing, what you're aware of is not the same thing. What you're seeing and what you're aware of is not exactly the same thing. Because I can see something, but it doesn't necessarily mean that what I'm seeing is true.
I read something really fascinating. It was like, I actually thought I knew how my brain worked, But until I read this, I realised that I didn't, and not only that I didn't know how my brain worked, I didn't have control of it. Put it is, what we experience with our eyes and with our ears goes into our brain and is formulated into a thought through the imagination part of the brain. This is neuroscience. From the imagination part of the brain, that formulates feelings and emotions. Now, what they say is, if you can control the experience you see and hear, then it's you that then determines if you feel sad, depressed, angry, anxious. And if that is the case, anything that they put out to us as subliminal messages, or even trying to introduce truth circles with divisional sort of like debates, this is where we really need to try and take our brains back. But it's so difficult. It's so difficult when there's so many things happening at the one time, you know.
Yeah, that's also true. But you know, it's also a matter of choice. Look, for example, how people moved from Europe to United States, Canada, or Australia, right? When they discover it, and when those places open new chances for, let's say, for them to live a different life than they live, for example, in Europe, right? So from that point of view, it's also important. Does any more land exist over the poles or somewhere else?
That's the biggest thing to me. Is that what would not surprise us? This is the thing. There's nothing that we would hear about that would shock us any more about anything. I don't think there's anything that could happen would be like, oh, I didn't think that was going to happen. You know.
Can I just say something, right? And I think that maybe this could be the thing that tips us flat earthers or truthers over the edge in a sense of, all right, look, I'm a flat earther. Everyone needs to be a flat earther. And the reason why I say this is because I'm not a dick. I'm not incorrect. I've done my research and I know this is true. We're not living on a ball. It's impossible. Every single flat earther out there knows exactly where I'm coming from. It's impossible that we're living on the ball when we have this, like, 8 inches per mile squared that's never been found. You can see, buildings that are hundreds of miles away.
Can I propose something to you?
Of course.
How could we possibly, because I get what you're saying, but how could we possibly move forward from this without having to prove it?
It's because,
why do we
the way I see forward is this. We have to make sure that as many people are aware of it as possible.
Oh, what?
Like, all right. A few years ago, maybe we might have been, 1,000 people. Today, we're millions of people.
Yeah.
I mean, understand what I'm saying. We are millions. And I mean, we are millions. We're not 200 or 300. We are millions now. So we have a voice. Of course, we've got a voice. And we're not stupid. It's mainstream science that's stupid, because we can take their experiments and everything they've done and show them, you know what? You're a dick because this was wrong. Look again.
all along.
Well, how's that saying go? Well, it's basically like there's two people. One is right and one is wrong. I'm correct. You need to check your premises again. That's the way I say it. I'm correct. You need to check your facts again.
Astral.
Go.
There is a problem in that kind of thinking, because things are probably not black and white, What if everything can be, that we live even on a globe or on a flat earth and maybe on some third or fourth kind of shape.
Can I just say?
Obviously our mind create our reality,
You know as well as I do. You've been on these chats for a few years at least.
Yeah.
We know. Whatever they do, whatever they say, we can counter it and say, well, that is not so, because the curvature of Earth is 8 inches per mile squared. And if you can't find your 8 inches per mile squared, we're living on a flat Earth. And you know what? That was my first thing that I ever went after. 8 inches per mile squared. Anybody can do it. Look
Yes.
ahead. And if you can see further than 8 miles and see a person standing 6 foot who's 6 foot at 8 miles, you know what? We're living on a flat earth. And it's been done time and time and time and time and time again. And it will be continued to be done time and time again. Because you're never going to find a flipping curve. There is no curve to be found. It's
But
flat.
just a second
Sorry.
to ask you, what if that ball is not so small, how they describe to us 25 kilometers, if I am not wrong. So
The ball is
ball
small.
is 10 times bigger. Just a second.
The ball has got this 25,000 miles circumference, right? In order to have that, you need to have the basic equation, which is what? Repeat after me. 8 inches per mile squared.
Exactly, but
that's what they give us. That's what they tell us.
About the size. I just asking you, for example, what if they wish to hide other parts of this earth? Can you imagine why they showing us all the wrong photos from?
Can I just say,
guy? They don't want us to understand this. They don't want us to realize that we are living on a flat earth. They want us to believe still that we're living on a flipping globe.
Can I say
because if you're living on a globe, you're restricted.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, but what, Astral? Excuse me, just to tell him one thing. If they lie you about one thing, that doesn't mean that opposite way of thinking is the right. That only mean one thing, that they've been lying to you. Because if they lie to you that exists, for example, a two-headed dog, you cannot assume anything from it. You can only see that they've been lying to you. Does a dog with 3 heads or 1 head or
see? This is why I was thinking. This is why I was thinking that, like as Astral was explaining, this platform is a massive platform, and many people are around it. Like the medicinal marijuana is a massive platform, and many people around about it. That human rights, even though it's got a terrible record on this planet, is a massive platform and a platform around about it. But all these are platforms. Platforms for what? Because all these different platforms, we hope individually, is going to react real change, real transparency, real change on this planet, even though each individual different platform can all disagree with each other, but we're all in this for the same reason. And this is why I'm saying, but this is why I was saying, Brother Astral, where do we move on from this without having to prove our points? It's like, I don't know, there's like some sort of psychological click or shift that needs to be done here, because we're all trying to do this in some sort of dynamic that they understand. Like they'll throw science at us and we'll throw science at them. It's like,
we need to wake up first of all and remember that we're here now and that we're conscious beings and that we connect spiritually together. That would start and start loving and liking and caring about everybody again.
Yes.
For example, if Admiral Byrd didn't lie in in his interviews and that book published after his death, obviously some land exists over the poles, right?
Yeah.
And that can prove us that obviously they wish to hide something from us, but you cannot be sure in the shape. I'm still more, how to say, giving more percentage.
What I was saying, brother, is that I see myself as the sheep, but this sheep has turned round to face the sheepdog, and guess what? Now the sheepdog is worried, which means the shepherd is fucked. Once this, I am the sheep that's turned to face the sheepdog, and it's like, this is what I don't say that I don't like division, because I like to try and, if I think I believe in something like anybody else, you want to try and put that across, and validate your own self rather than prove a point. Validate your own beliefs. But this is what I'm saying.
Can I say something to you, Rose? Flat Earth is about waking yourself, and once you have, then you can help everybody else. So it's about a whole. And that's what a lot of us are doing here on these platforms. That's
why I was saying that people are waking up to the flat earth, people are waking up to the marijuana, people are waking up to different things, but we can all still be on different sides of the fence. That's what I'm saying. We are all waking up, but we're still sort of divided with certain things,
that should be bringing us together and helping
Yes.
us move on together somehow. I know it's a big thing because we're on so many different places, different time zones, but I think that's happening. I think those that are truly waking up to this whole thing, they're different. They're empathic usually, and that says something, because that means, you know, I feel people's pain and things. So just very connected and sensitive. I think a lot of us, the ones that are really waking up, are like that.
Yeah, well, me and you, Karen, we've spoke about this many times. You know, about empathy and people that have got some sort of a connection to others, right? Okay, I know many people were like, that's all crock of shit and blah blah blah. You know, they will feel like that. Karen, I know 100%. You and I, we have a little connection. We have, because I can say to you something and it will happen. True? Is it true or not? I know it is. It's all about belief in that sense. But what we need to do, we have so many people against us, not believing in the, you know, the flat Earth. We don't want to call it flat Earth. We call it geocentric. We are geocentric. I would say I'm a eccentric geocentricist.
You took the thought out of my head.
I am an eccentric geocentricist. Seriously, because, you know, I am eccentric. We have our little quirks. We're all flat earthers. And as a flat earther, you're not normal. Not in that sense. We are a little bit
Not
eccentric.
normal, yeah.
You know, we have a little,
It's all deep, isn't it? And it's quite
I
intellectual.
yield.
Yes.
Your journey for yourself, or maybe you've looked into other things, right? But you've like looked as a group, as people, Freeman, I'm sure Sheeps has. We're just looking at so many different things that you've never looked at before to try and understand.
Yeah, that's very true. Exactly.
And there's just so much information.
That can be the problem sometimes also.
It's interesting that Nirvana conspiracy been able to unite people, as let's say this flat Earth movement did. You know, that's really interesting, because we no need all to agree about all the things, you know, but still we are here to support each other and to find the truth together. You know, that's a good way of thinking. I think it's the first time in history that people who are do not agree about everything are still able to communicate and agree about some starting points and to try to find the whole truth together.
Yes.
Yeah, and just before you came on, Sheeps and Neeps was talking about gravity. What are you, Sheeps? I mean, I never get that one. When I really thought about it, it's not like if gravity was to work, my feet would feel like they've got lead weights in the bottom of them, and I'd have to.
Sorry, I didn't understand that, Karen. Gravity? What the funk is gravity?
If gravity existed,
what is gravity?
It doesn't exist.
What is it though? I don't know what it is.
It just holds us back.
Can you explain gravity to me, please? Seriously, anyone explain gravity?
It's a negative emotion.
Totally negative. I like that. Oh, it's a negative emotion. Yeah, it is. Oh, gives me bad vibes, man.
Stop gravitating towards me.
Don't talk gravity. Oh. I thought we were going to have a good night tonight. No, I love you guys.
And you know, what's also interesting, because I hear some, let's say, interesting stories from people who probably know something more, that probably our reality is in the shape of onion, you know. That's very, very interesting thing. So we live on only one platform, you know, and there is a lot of more. Yeah, that's very interesting, because so many cultures left that some people live deep inside in the earth, and that's not possible even on a normal model of flat earth, on globe especially, because if it's so hot inside, hey, how anybody can live there, because we all know what you need to be able to live. You need some energy as the sun, and you need some water, and probably some food, as we do have here. And people describing exactly that in all those levels you have a similar type of animals and the plants and so on and so on.
Yeah. Very true.
Yeah.
Can I just say that we've been going for nearly 3 hours now? Do you think
Whoa.
it's like time that we should probably sort of wind down a bit now?
Yeah, I'm cool. I'm cool at going now. Get a cup of tea.
Another one.
I'll drink all the time.
You're Scottish.
I've got 5 litres of distilled water.
We
Yeah,
officially must
every
test
day,
it.
so it's no problem.
I'm good. What's that?
Well,
Yeah, I'm all
thank
right.
you very much to Anthony and Vinny who've left but are on here today. Thank you for coming on Rogue. Thank you, Sheeps and Neeps.
Welcome.
And Patricia, Freeman and Astral and everybody in the chat room who's listened in. And hopefully there's loads of information if people are listening to this hangout.
I would just like to say thank you, Rogue. Thank you, Sheeps. Karen too. Everyone else, dude. It's always awesome listening to you guys because well, I'm not going. I'm still here, but I just want to say thank you, people, for doing all you've done, saying all you've said, and spreading this word, because we all know we're not living on a globe. It's something different. And well, if we take the well, do your own research. My research has led me to believe my own belief. We're not moving. It's standing still, and I am the center of the universe. Or we are the center of the universe, our Earth. But thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you, Astral. Thank you, everybody. So, and it's good morning, good afternoon, and evening from us. And we're back on Thursday. So, mwah, to everybody.
Peace and love.
Good night, everyone.
Yay.
Peace and love to everyone.